lies. It was just
bullshit. What's the difference?
It wasn't lies. It was
just bullshit.
The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit. The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit. The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit. The proper way to say it. No lies, just bullshit.
Who said liar? I said bullshit artist. And what's the difference? Because I don't lie. Never.
Hello and welcome to episode 400 of No Lies, Just Bullshit. I am your host, Nick Swartz, also known as Nicky Yardbirds, Nicky Jams, Nicky No Lies, Nicky Two Times. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited about the episode. Before we get into it, though, first off, thank you so much to Alliance Tattoo Supply. I can't remember how long they've been supporting us, but man, they're fantastic. They treat me really well. They treat my brother really well. They don't ever say, hey, Nick, can you interview this person? Or, hey, Nick, can you not smoke weed when you're doing this? Or, hey, Nick, you did this, shouldn't have said that. They don't fucking do none of that. They just say, hey, Nick, we like what you're doing. We want to support it. We want to be a part of it. And that's what they do. And it's just incredibly humbling because they're good people. And it just feels good, man, to have them back you up. So I strongly urge you folks to go to alliancetattoosupply.com and show your support for No Lies, Just Bullshit by supporting Alliance Tattoo Supply. They have lineage needles, they have disposables, they have everything you need to run your tattoo shop, and they do it the right way. And those are the homies. So alliancetattoosupply.com. And to you guys at Alliance, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. Man, 400 episodes. It's so crazy. I say this from time to time. I knew that this would be cool, and I knew that it would be, that people would like it, but I didn't ever consider doing 400 episodes. And I didn't ever consider that, I would be as welcomed as I am. Again, I knew it would do okay, but I thought it would do okay with like-minded people that I know. But in fact, it's done okay worldwide. And myself and my brother and my crew, we've all been really embraced by the greatest tattooers on earth. And, I am just incredibly humbled to have 400 episodes. The body of work, some of the stories, all of the stories really are just incredible. It makes me feel good. And it just, it has put Alley Cat Tattoo on the map. Me and my guys and the tattoos that they do and the shop itself is recognized worldwide now. And man, it's just incredibly humbling. And it just feels like a dream come true, to be honest with you, because we always, you want to make a living, you want to do good in business, and you want to be well received. And then when you're well received on the level that No Lies, Just Bullshit is, and then that translates to like some of the greatest tattooers ever, to do it are now our friends, and they come here on a regular basis, or they're about to come here, The success of No Lies, Just Bullshit is directly related to our upcoming convention, the Shenandoah Rose, which I want to urge you folks, if you're a tattoo enthusiast or a tattooer or a tattoo collector and you're on the East Coast, in August 7th, 8th, and 9th, we're having a convention here at the shop. And man, I will also say, I don't know who's keeping their schedule clear for it, but more and more I'm hearing from the people that are working it that they're getting booked up. So if you plan on getting tattooed, go on, hit your favorite tattooer up and let them know. But anyway, the success of Alley Cat Tattoo is directly related to No Lies, Just Bullshit, and vice versa. And Shenandoah Rose wouldn't be possible, I don't believe, on the level that it is if it weren't for No Lies, Just Bullshit. So anyway, thank you to everybody. If Shenandoah Rose, August 7th, 8th, and 9th, come see it, check it out, tell your homies. We'll have a drink, we'll have a hang, and get a tattoo. Some of the illest alive are going to be here. And I don't know if when was the last time I mentioned some of the names, but Jesse Struthers, Mario Desa, Nick Hall, Brian McNeil, Angela Miller, Gordon McCloud, my man Eric Desmond, Jimmy P. Let me think, Timothy Hoyer, Chad Chesko, Jeff Rasher. I'm talking about the who's who, like the big dogs. Kylie Green, Mike Wilson, big dogs are going to be here. So you should be here too. All right, episode 400 is one that my guest on this episode is Gordon McCloud. And He's been on a few times, but frankly, it's never been the right formula for him to be here. He's travels with groups of people or a couple homies here and there, and it's not always the right setting for a podcast. And when someone comes to your place, you don't want to exclude them, but at the same time, you don't want to, it doesn't always work out. So, he's been on with 3 or 4 people at least twice. I think he's on another time too. But anyway, it just wasn't the right circumstances. So for 400, I said, look, man, I want to sit down and I want to just hang the two of us, and I want to do your timeline because we haven't done it. He's told some cool stories, but I knew that when we did his actual timeline, that it would be star-studded with great characters of this business that he had come encountered with throughout the years. And I was exactly right. I met him up in Richmond and hung out at Absolute Art for the day while he tattooed. And then got with Keith and Sam. We all went to dinner. And then Gordon and I went to a hotel and recorded for a couple hours, and it's just spectacular. And, he's someone that I'm really proud to call my friend. He treats me and everyone at Alley Cat like gold. He's been generous. He's with his time and information. And, man, he's someone who's like I align with as far as his values, his family values, his work values, his just how he handles himself. And so it was an honor, and I'm stoked to call him my friend, and I hope you guys like this episode as much as I do. And this is episode 400, so be sure and tell your mama and them. Gordon McCloud, No Lies, Just Bullshit.
Whoa, Nelly. That's what our old man used to say, or as my brother would say in the intros. But before we get into that, hey, this is Josh, stepping out from behind the scenes. And I just want to say congratulations to my brother Nick on 400 episodes of No Lies, Just Bullshit. Man, it's crazy. We've been doing this for a while, and we made it to 400. Well, I thought I'd make a nice little surprise for Nick and reached out to some folks. There's no way I could reach out to everybody who's been on the show. It would be like a 10-hour podcast, but with the help of some of my people at Alley Cat Tattoo, I got some numbers, and I reached out to a few people, and they answered me, and they recorded a little something for you, Nick. We're all stoked on this. We just love recording these things and trying to preserve some of the tattoo history. And I also want to make sure that I want to give a shout out to Andrew Connor and Chris Porter. For so many episodes, had the shop talk going with Nick. I loved editing those things. They were super fun. It's kind of like going to tattoo school. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that Andrew and Porter get some recognition here because they did a lot of those. And hey, they still got it. They're keeping it alive on YouTube with our new guy Avery doing the videos. So that's pretty cool. Go check that out if you haven't. And speaking of tattoo history, we're going to kick things off with a legend. This is Eric Desmond. Enjoy, everybody. Episode 400.
What's going on, Nick? Congratulations. No Lies, Just Bullshit, 400 episodes. It's amazing. You're keeping the tradition of tattooing alive and well. Letting people hear these stories and interact with artists with amazing histories. It's a great thing you're doing for tattooing, and the entire industry should be thankful. I know I am, and I'm honored to be part of it. Thank you so much.
Hi, Josh. Hi, Nick. It's your friend Annette LaRue. I'm calling to say congratulations on all your great podcasts, and I hope that we get to hear 300 more or 500, 10,000. Keep it going forever. You guys make me laugh really hard. I listen to you every morning when I'm working out, and I just look forward to it every day. And Josh, you're a great producer. Nick, you just get people to talk some shit. I love it so much. Your stories are great. I hope I can hear you forever. Keep it going. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Hey, Nick. It's Richie Montgomery. I hope all is well. Congratulations on 400 episodes. That's a huge milestone. I'm really glad that you have kept the torch lit for tattoos and the history of our craft alive. You've always had such great stories and lots of laughs, and always good people. I'm happy for you, brother. Be well. Thanks again.
All right, up next, we're going to hear from Corey Miller.
Alright, what we got going here? Pour me a little shot. Get rid of that bad boy. Someone reached out and told me that it was No Lies Bullshit 400th episode coming up. So I figured I would celebrate with my buddy Nick on his great achievement. And I guess I better walk out here so we can, so I don't fucking stink up the shop. One thing I remembered about our great interview we got to do was how chill it was. And we got to drink some whiskey and talk about tattooing. It was really great. Yeah, no lies, just bullshit. What a great thing that you do, man. I told you that night. Getting all this history of all of our people and letting people experience the other talents of other artists and all that great stuff. And if it wasn't for you, people would know less shit than they already don't know. So, in light of that, Nick, here's to you, man. Here's to your 400th episode of doing what you do, man, for tattoo. So congratulations to you and all your people that help make your team work. And man, I gotta get myself out to Virginia and check out that new shop one day. Hopefully, it won't be too long from now. But yeah, man, congratulations. Thanks for making me do a shot and burning one. Miss you. Hope I see you down the road soon. Way to go, buddy. 400. Hell of an achievement. See ya.
Hey, Nick, this is George Archer from way down here in Petersburg, Virginia. Just calling to congratulate you guys on 400 episodes of No Lies, Just Bullshit. I hope you make 4 million more. Love you, buddy. Bye-bye.
Hey, congratulations, and thank you for 400 episodes. This is Kylie, by the way. The podcast is cool, it's interesting, it's educational, it's funny, and most importantly, it's just a positive thing that you've put out into the world, and we can go back and listen to this forever. So, thank you. Hope everyone enjoys 400th episode.
I think it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Like, I'm not surprised, and I'm stoked and honored that you hit me up and you want me to say my little piece about it. I think it's great. Happy for you guys. Yeah, I don't know. It's insane. It's 400. Like, that's a lot. It's a lot of work, you know. That man's put in a lot of work. He deserves many praises. So I think we were talking about earlier, like, that I was doing that episode with him or whatever. You were in the background getting tattooed by Mike Wilson. And it was your first tattoo, wasn't it?
It was. Hell yeah, it was a big one.
The panther with the wings.
Yep. It's cool to be able to tell people about that. Go listen to Slim Brown's episode. You'll hear me getting tattooed.
Hey, you just hear it in the background, like, buzzing away. It was just like Mike in there just throwing down majestic, magical, beautiful stuff on you. And yeah, it was cool that just ran, you know, I just walked into that situation. But yeah, Nick, you know, we're doing this for you, buddy, because you do so much for us. I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of you guys. It's very important what you're doing for tattooing, you know, like, and I knew that right away when I first heard him and met him and stuff, that this is a good thing. It's important, documenting, hearing people's stories, painting a picture of people's lives, and it gets you amped up if you're into this thing, you know. And now more than ever, it's just important to keep creating and doing positive stuff in this world we live in, you know. You know, I'm always happy for you guys and Nick and what y'all do, just constantly progressing and doing, you know, giving back, doing good for tattooing, and for all your people you tattoo, changing lives. It's magic, sacred, ancient stuff, and we're lucky to be able to do it. But yeah, I don't know, I miss you guys, and Nick, you're a very special man, and I love you, and I'm just, congratulations, you know, I'll come see you guys soon, and yeah, this is great. I appreciate that you hit me up, Josh.
Hell yeah, brother.
You're a good man.
All right, we appreciate it. It's good to hear from you.
All right, it's good to hear from y'all.
All right, man.
Y'all take care, okay?
Yo, what up, buddy? I just want to say a massive congratulations on 400 episodes. That's fucking cool. You know, I think you're a legend, buddy. I think No Lies is one of my favourite podcasts ever. I think it's so insightful. I love listening to it. I love what you guys are doing. I love what you did for the tattoo community, and like, also you're like the nicest person ever, and you've always been nothing but super supportive and welcoming of everything we're doing, and I really admire your passion and compassion for tattooing, and you're just a legend. So big love from everyone, and good luck, and Hambo. Peace, buddy.
Yo, Nick, it's Jason Goldberg. Up here in Old City Tattoo in Hostel City, USA, Daddy. Congratulations on your 400th episode. What a milestone. I think I'm still hungover from episode 280 something, or whatever time it was when we were up here drinking whiskey in Philly. Love you, brother.
Hey Nick, it's Jill Hoyuki-Bani here. Congrats on your 400th episode of No Lies. What an accomplishment. Wish I was there to celebrate with you guys. Cheers to 400 more. Woohoo!
Yo, Nick, it's your boy, the craziest motherfucker ever from Queens, New York. And just by saying that, you know exactly who this is. This is Crazy Stevie, and that says a lot. You know what else says a lot? Me. I don't shut the fuck up. And I'm here to tell you that I love you. You are my spiritual brother. I learn a lot from you. And I think your show does a lot for tattooing, and we appreciate you, man. I'm going to come down there and see you in Alley Cat, and you're going to go out of your fucking mind.
What's up, Big Nick? This is Jimmy P from Full Hearts Tattoo. Just wanted to say congrats on hitting 400. Man, that's quite a milestone. Totally love that podcast. Thanks for having me and a bunch of our friends on there. Couldn't be more stoked on what you're doing. Real tat talk for and about people who love tattoos. Thanks again, man.
Let me first start off by introducing myself. This is the one and only Eric Perfect from Philadelphia, PA, Hospital City, baby. But what I wanted to say is, you know, you have 400 episodes, okay? I mean, have you people done 400 of anything in your fucking life? I mean, really. You have 400 episodes of solid fucking tattoo information and stories. And you fucking jabronis just sit around and eat it up. And you know how fucking lucky you are? Jesus fucking, you're lucky if you get one more of these, let alone 400 more of these fucking things. So, just wanted to stop by and say congratulations. You know you guys are the fucking best. Appreciate everything you guys do. I mean, this motherfucker doesn't even fucking tattoo, and he does more for tattooing than fucking majority of you fucking bronies out there. So, good luck. Congratulations again. We'll see you soon, buddy.
I spend more time over there than I do here now.
In Mexico?
I don't, but I wish I could.
Is that going to be good right there?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Well.
That's it. Cheers.
Yeah. That was a pretty good meal, huh?
Dude, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. It took us an hour and a half to figure out where we're going to eat.
I'm telling you, dog, I love those dudes. But every time it comes up, it's just like, there's got to be a better place. There's got to be a better place.
I wanted to go to that one spot. I won't say it because it'll get busier, but
yeah,
I'll go there tomorrow night.
It'll be dope.
It is. Yeah. The last bunch of times I was here, I ate there.
Fucking rules. Good. And I'll tell you why I love that place so much.
It's dark as fuck.
Yep.
It's dark. It's quiet. The people are like, no bullshit. You can just ask for the special. You don't got to worry about the menu.
Yeah. And I mean, I've often sat with people, strangers. Because that's what the room just didn't have any other way. So it'd be like me and a buddy sharing a 4-top with another 2 people, and it was totally fucking relaxed and normal. But my sister went to VCU, and her appendix burst, and she was in the hospital for almost a month. And my parents came down here, and I said, Mom, I want to take you to this place. My mom's Italian. I want to take you to this place. And we went as soon as they opened, which is real early, and there was not a soul in there. And my mom's hip was fucked up, and she's like, well, I'm going to go downstairs and have a cigarette. And the people there kind of knew me through Brian, and they were like, tell her just to smoke at the table. They let my mom smoke cigarettes in their restaurant.
Sick.
Once it was illegal to smoke cigarettes.
Well, going up and down them stairs isn't easy.
But still, it's unheard of to let somebody just burn down in your fucking restaurant. And they knew my sister was in the hospital. They knew my mom was, down there for weeks on end, and they were just cool to her.
Sick.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I think I tried to pull this off, like I said, the day that Scott and Crow were with you. And I remember, and I've quoted this. One thing I said to you, and your response was, well, first off, I'm hip hop. Do you remember saying that to me?
I don't.
And I think that was rooted in, like, you were telling me about graffiti stuff. But I asked you about something, and it was surprising me that you said I'm hip hop, just because Crow and Scott Sterling are the opposite.
Yeah.
But I know you don't give a fuck about being yourself.
For sure.
But I love that fucking answer, because I want that to be my answer to every question that people ask me. You know what I'm saying?
It's real. I mean, at the same time, I put something on my Instagram the other day that got like, I don't know if anybody saw it, but a few people saw it and laughed, but I don't get any new hip hop at all. Like, I don't understand it. I find myself listening to like folk music and country music that's coming out now, that's like got good stories and good writing, than I do any fucking mumble bullshit. Like, I don't get it.
I don't like mumble rap, but the newer shit that I do like the shit was playing in my car tonight, is just ignorant drug dealer rap. And I gotta fucking...
So I'm into that when you can somewhat drop the lyrics and just listen to the beat. You can like forget about the dumb shit they're saying, but my whole life is stuck in the 90s. Like, I feel like you're always kind of stuck in the best time of your life, right? It's like the time I came up, the time I started tattooing, like the time I met my wife, the time I started having kids, like all the good shit, like all my mentors were from the 90s, it's all like there in the music.
Well, me and Mario talk about it today. Like, I sent Mario a song the other day it's a Rick Ross song, it's new, but the beat was a Master Ace beat. Yeah. And it wasn't changed at all. And he was like, this is a cool song, but they just took that fucking beat. And I go, that's why I like it. Because I like that beat, But I'm super nostalgic, and hip-hop, like, the stuff that if you say, yo, Nick, what's the hip-hop that you love? I'll probably start with Africa Bambaataa and Slick Rick, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Beastie Boys, and then that was all pre-teens for me. I was bumping that shit when I was 10 years old. And then when I turned maybe 13 or 14, Enter the 36 Chambers, the first Bone Thugs came out, A Tribe Called Quest, all these albums dropped on the same fucking day. And that's sort of like Wu-Tang, Nas, Cool G rap. I'm not a Jay-Z guy.
I think of everything from like the Illmatic album and before or after. That album kind of changed everything for it all. I think it's the best album of all time. Yeah. It should be like, it could be argued and it should be argued, but like, I feel like that album had all the best producers all the best producers working for one guy to make one album the best it could be, and it was.
And the rhymes are crazy for a kid that young.
Super crazy.
Just the first thing you hear him say, rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. That's the first thing he says. Yeah. What the fuck is this kid 17, 18 years old? It's amazing. Anyway.
Mario, bring up Mario. I've known Mario since before either of us were tattooing. We were both painting graffiti together in like the early 90s.
Together? Actually, physically together?
Yeah, physically together. So I was like a menace back then too, and I was just taking so I took the Greyhound bus had a deal where you can go anywhere in the United States for $39. So weird, right? But here, check this out. This is crazy. So it was like $39 or $49. You can go anywhere in the United States. So I would get a ticket to New York for $49. But
coming from where?
From Oakland. So I'm from Oakland, California. So I get a one-way ticket to New York for under $50, which was still probably a lot of money. But they would print you out tickets for every stop. So it'd be like Oakland to Reno, Reno to Vegas, or Henderson or whatever. Then there to the next place. So it'd be you get 40 tickets, and you wouldn't have to get on that bus. You would just get on the next bus that had room for you.
Right.
So
that was going from this city to that city.
From this city to that city on the ticket. So I would end up in Reno, stay a couple days. Go to Des Moines, Iowa, stay for a couple days. Then I ended up in Chicago and Wisconsin.
Where would you stay?
We just kind of like hung out, graffiti kids, and crashed on older kids' couches. Or
were you a teenager?
I was a teenager.
Yeah. And your parents
like
just
14, 15.
Just said.
My dad was already gone, and my mom was taking care of my brother. And my mom, believe it or not, I was talking about it today. My mom was super supportive of me doing whatever I wanted. So when I decided to not go to school and get a diploma from the state, like a proficiency test and got my degree, my high school diploma when I was 15. She's like, yeah, go make art. I want to paint graffiti. She's like, well, where are you going to do that? Do it. You know, she was cool with it. She was cool with everything. And I didn't realize that for a long time. She was just being supportive.
Was she an artist?
She was. She went to art school and she was a painter. And then she was a hippie and moved to San Francisco from the East Coast to San Francisco, became a hippie.
Think about your kids, though, and how tough it would be to give them that level of freedom.
I can't. Like I told you, we left my almost 20-year-old son at home for a week, and it was like hard.
Yeah. But so that's what I'm saying. So your mom, you know, just for her to like have the spirit of an artist and say, if you want to write graffiti, just go on and fucking write it. And you're like, okay, see you when I come back. That's amazing.
For sure. I mean, she was cool. She's, you know, I talked to her all the time and stayed in touch with her. But I had a brother, too, that was kind of a handful. And she had her hands full with him. And she told me later on that she just knew I'd be okay. She just let me go. Super weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go. Like, her mom, my grandmother, and me were super tight, and she wanted me to do a trade school, you know, and then I ended up moving to New York. So it was like 93.
And that hip-hop itself was exploding.
The shit. So I watched Wu-Tang become Wu-Tang when I was in New York. So everybody was running around the streets pretending to be a part of this crew, you know? Like, it was nuts.
But that's also when graffiti... penalties for graffiti became the stiffest ever, right?
Yeah, they were harsh.
They would start putting motherfuckers in jail.
Prison, yeah.
Yeah, prison. That's so wild. I know Mario did a little bit of time for graffiti.
Yeah.
But
I never did. I was lucky, but, you know, I did a lot of it, but I was never good at it. You know, thinking back, like, I was around people that were really good, and if I would have stuck with it, probably would have been good, and I was fine. Like, I still got friends.
What did you write?
Wrath.
Yeah. So that
was me. I've had that name since I was fucking 12 years old.
That's crazy.
And I can't shake it. I don't want it anymore.
Well, as long as it's your fucking handle online.
Yeah, but you change that, and then what? People won't.
Then you lose.
Whatever. But it is what it is.
I've just noticed that at the time I've known you, you start off being Wrath, and you end up being Gordon to everybody that loves you. You know what I'm saying?
I introduced myself as Gordon, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, the people
your reputation precedes you. and I don't mean that in a crazy way like we were talking about earlier. I just mean in that that's your Instagram name, and you're known for just being prolific and putting out a ton of work, and it's as that title more so, I think.
For sure.
You know, I know that your page says your name on it.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
Plus, man...
I mean, everybody has a stupid name on the internet, though, right? Like, what did the kid was like... Hey, you might know me on Instagram. I'm Snot Booger. And I was like, no, what's your name? Mike? I'm going to call you Mike instead.
But Wrath sounds tough. And motherfuckers are like, that shit sounds fucking hard. You know what I mean? That's just being honest, you know? That's just how the world sees it. They're like, this motherfucker calls himself Wrath. You know what I mean? That sounds dangerous. People love that.
Yeah, I mean, far from dangerous.
All right, so you met Mario doing this cross country trip?
Yeah, I ended up staying in the Midwest for maybe 6 months or so between like Chicago and Wisconsin, and like bouncing around. Met him there. My girlfriend at the time was living there, and she went to art school in New York. She went to film school in New York, and I followed her, went to New York, and we were there for a couple years.
And what did you do for work
or something? Dude, I was doing this like shitty job repairing roll down gates for doors. Like, it was like a shit cash job.
But there's a million roll down doors in New York City. It's an endless job, probably.
Yeah, but it was like I was just showed up. You know, still don't even know how those things work.
Yeah.
You know, like they're.
Were you a helper to somebody?
Yeah, I was just like a laborer. You know.
Yeah.
And work when they need me.
Sure.
Kind of job. I mean, I only needed. You know, I lived in the dorm, you know, so she had like a dorm room. So I just squatted in the dorm room 5 days a week. And on the weekends, I'd go visit my grandparents in New Jersey. So it was cool. You know, I liked it. It was like rough. All I needed was maybe $50 or $30 a week to eat and live, you know. It was like,
And
dude,
you get
as
a fucking
kid,
99
it's like
cent slice back
stealing spray paint and painting all over New York. It was great.
You ever have any brushes with the law at all?
Yeah, sure. But back then, it was like, if you got caught, you maybe get punched. You weren't going to get shot by the cops, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't really care so much.
And when I'm saying that people were getting time for graffiti, it was people whose tag was everywhere. They were doing full train cars. They were doing it really well all over the city, and it was like a fucking...
Yeah, so I was
like
doing
an insult.
I was doing all that shit. I was doing all that shit, but I wasn't like as big as some people. Like at the time, there was like people that were huge. I was tearing shit up, but I don't think they were like raiding houses yet. But then they started raiding houses. I know soon after. You know, people did get a lot of time. I didn't know any of them guys though. But
So when did you get your first tattoo?
I was super young, like 13.
Get the fuck out. Like a stick and poke kind of thing, or you got a real tattoo?
No, I still got it. It says it's a rose and it says "Mom" right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
In a shop?
No, dude, look at that.
Well, God, it was
It's
100
like-
years ago. That's not the worst tattoo. Probably
No, it's nice. No, so my buddy, and we were all street kids, you know. So my buddy's brother had just got out of prison, and he wanted to get a job working for Phil Sims as a tattooer. And he's a tattooer, but he's using all these handmade machines. So Phil Sims had a shop in Hayward. He's like legendary tattooer, and he would hire you, but you had to have professional machines. That was his whole thing. Is this
Street
guy?
equipment.
This guy
Was
needed
not
to
gonna cut
have
it.
real equipment.
Yeah.
So he was trying to make enough money to buy a Spalding set, which was $500.
Yeah.
By tattooing the kids on the block, you know.
Yeah.
So like $20 or $30 at a time, but I did run into his brother, and this guy's locked up again. He's been locked up for like 30 years or something now.
Yeah, some people just never
But he
get
was
out
a
of that.
super talented artist, or at least from what I remember.
So, were you like hooked immediately? Like, I'm starting getting tattooed, or you just?
Yeah, I got tons of tattoos, like tons of tattoos quick, like all with this Walkman machine, you know. And I would have to.
Was your mom still on the like it's art kind of thing? Like that's kind of cool, or was she not feeling that?
So, dude, she was super into it. She was into whatever I was into. She was just like kind of supportive. I drew all over my wall in my bedroom. You know.
Does she have any tattoos?
No tattoos. But she caught me. So, dude, she caught me tattooing in my bedroom on this guy Pete, this Native American friend of mine named Pete, in my bedroom. I was probably 13 and he was 15, and he was just sitting on my bed and I was tattooing him with this machine that this guy taught me how to make that was tattooing me already. And instead of her screaming, yeah, like a big pen,
Walkman motor.
yeah, Walkman, you know, the whole deal. So I was tattooing him on my bed, and my mom walked in the room, and instead of like freaking out, she got a camera and started taking photographs of me.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and so she found the pictures and she gave me the photographs of it like not too long ago. Wow. But then, yeah, this is fucked up. So I had these photos and then I lost them.
I know what you got.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was like the first bunch of tattoos that I did like were documented when I was 13 years old, which like I don't count really in my career tattooing at all.
Yeah, but
I was super into tattooing from an early
those
age.
Pictures would be really neat.
Yeah. And we were like
Man, I'll tell you
wife
what.
beaters, Dickies, Cortez,
Oh.
sitting on my bed, tattooing each other. You know, I was 13, I had a mustache.
That's crazy. Ugh, fucking crazy. And when people ask that dude to this day, who did this tattoo, he goes, fucking 13-year-old kid named Wrath.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay, so how long between that and you saying I'm a tattoo? For real.
Okay. So I was in New York. Well, let me rewind the clock real quick. So,
Sure, please.
So in graffiti, I grew up with this guy. I'll give him some credit right now because not that many people know about him, at least younger guys. And his name's Schmo. And he is the first person, I'm thinking he's the first person to do graffiti style tattoos.
Okay.
He was like a little bit older generation of Oakland graffiti for me, but he was always like the coolest dude in the world. And me and Hoyer were talking about him all day.
Timothy talked to me about him, and West Coast people in the know bring his name up.
Our age. But he passed away, you know, it seems like a decade ago, but it's, you know, it's probably, you know, going on a decade ago. And he apprenticed under Phil Sims in Hayward. And then he got a job working with Aaron Kane. And it was like Aaron Kane and Marcus and Timothy and him.
Yeah.
And that's fucking sick.
And that was that Primal Urge?
Everlasting.
Everlasting, okay. If y'all don't know those names, look it up. They're big dogs.
So I was a kid, and he was probably like 19. I mean, he was a kid too, but I was like, you know, 14 or something like that. And I had never really seen, or we never really liked color tattoos, you know? So we just like black, prison-looking tattoos. You know, everybody wanted to be a street kid. That's what we saw. That's what we liked.
That was a thing, West Coast.
So when I would go out there and like try to hang around with them guys, you know, I know I just annoyed everybody forever, but I would go hang out with those guys, and I was seeing what they were doing, and it was like bolder lines, these bright colors. I'd never seen no shit like that, but it was like really thick outlines, bright colors, graffiti style tattoos. So I could get behind that. I like related to that.
Yeah.
I didn't really relate to the sailor type tattoo, or, you know, a lot of tattoos that you would see people have, because all that I seen was sailor tattoos. Tribal was becoming a thing a little bit. Didn't make sense to me.
See, on the East Coast, we never really saw sailor tattoos. What we saw were biker tattoos, and it was like, basically, it was like, you know, like that rose tattoo you showed me would have been done in black and gray, almost completely rendered, and then colored on top of that to have it pop and look like a sticker.
So like we had that too. Like that started to come. Like my eyes started opening to seeing that type of stuff, like later on. But at that moment in my childhood, all I saw was things in color. That's like weird white people shit, and fine line black and gray tattoos. Like that's like street shit. Yeah, like Chicano tattoos. Yeah. But that was also done. It was like, you know, a dude got out of prison and opened a shop in his basement. There was a shop. One of the first tattoo shops I got tattooed at in Oakland was directly across the street from a middle school. And there wasn't that much tattooing going on in Oakland, and I got tattooed there, and I was like middle school age. They didn't give a fuck.
You just walked in and asked for a tattoo and nothing to it.
Well, you just kind of went in there, and there was like a few things on the wall, and like pages torn out of tattoo magazines, and a guy tattooing. Some teenager magazines. And then, hanging out with Schmo was kind of like the first part of seeing kind of color being an option, or tattoos being different, and being able to put like the graffiti culture.
You start seeing light sources and things and highlights.
So that was it.
Just didn't look. Tattoos never looked like that prior.
Yeah.
To those dudes that you named, Aaron King, Warrior, fucking Marcus. Take the edge off that a little bit for you. Well, at first I was sitting right in front of you blocking it, but I felt it was a little weird just sitting face to face staring at you. And then I moved and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not blocking the area anymore. Take the edge off of that.
So yeah, like nothing ever came up. I like was starting to draw more, like leaning towards this like tattoo designs that I'd see from them. And Schmo kind of gave me a couple pointers, but basically he's like, you just got to go buy yourself some shit and put tattoos on people. There was no angle to like get into any of these shops. I was a fucking kid, you know?
Yeah.
It was like working a shitty construction job and selling scrap metal for money.
But he wasn't telling you draw your ass off. He was saying just start tattooing and you figure it out.
Yeah, because I don't know. At that point, that's all he kind of did, you know? Yeah. He got himself in a shop where they did, you know, working for Phil. which Bill Sims was like a legendary tattooer from the Pike.
Yeah.
That, moved back to the Bay Area and then kind of fit in this Bay Area style of tattooing. So it was a lot of Mexicans. He was still doing fine line tattoos with color.
Right.
Or fine line tattoos in black, but it was, they're very nice. Phil was an amazing tattooer. And then, people probably all seen the book of his Flash that came out. It's like 1,000 sheets of Flash or something that came out. I don't know if you've seen it, but pretty crazy. And then, so that never worked out. I never tattooed. I just ended up, moving to New York, I guess. It was like 93. And I made enough money to buy some equipment and then just start tattooing people.
And tattooing was illegal there.
It's still illegal, but but the
people tattooed, but it was...
People were getting tattooed, but there was no tattoo shops, and I was just tattooing out of this dorm room that we were living in, like fucking shit up.
Your girlfriend at the time just let you run wild.
Yeah, but we're at the same time, we're fucking still kids,
Yeah.
I was barely 18. She's in film school. There's
fucking
the whole.
her.
Well, this dorm was. Dude, what's crazy is I still go to New York a lot, and I cruise by where this is, and what used to be the dorm room is now like this high-end hotel.
Oh shit!
And I went to the roof and had dinner, and they got like a James Beard fucking chef up
Michelin
there.
stars and shit.
Yeah, it's like a James Beard Award fucking restaurant at the top of this place. So, but it was a half welfare, like Section 8, and half dorm room for the film school. So there was like a building, like a 20-story building of customers.
Yeah.
To tattoo on. But I never figured it out there, and I did a bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have, and then from there I moved back to the Bay, and then...
Were you building needles?
No.
Where were you
I
getting
was
needles?
buying needles from Spalding.
Yeah.
And it was crazy money. I think one needle was $7.50 or something like that.
And you're doing
$7.50.
$40 tattoos, $30 tattoos?
No, they were like fucking $10. I was 18 years old, and these were college kids. So it was just like beer money, and I didn't do one good tattoo there. I did 40 bad ones.
Yeah.
Like really, really bad ones. So I got back to California like 94-ish. 94, I got a job working construction in an apartment, and then I was still thinking about it, and I was getting tattooed a little bit, and a buddy of mine started getting tattooed at Tattoo City, and he was getting some like nice tattoos. So he got tattooed from Nala Smith.
Okay.
And it was fucking sick. It was like paradise and flames.
That's
And it
definitely
was,
94.
Yeah. So it was like paradise and flames. It said Born to Lose.
Hell yeah.
And the flames, like none of the points touched on the flames. They're just like these contoured lines and all different colors. Purple, tons of purple.
Yeah.
Green and purple. And I was like, kind of fired up, and we started. He was like way better talent than I was, but we've started drawing together and like trying to get into tattooing together.
How cool it was to get super excited about a tattoo?
Oh yeah.
Fuck, you saw someone's tattoo and you're like, it's fucking cool shit. Like I remember Jason Hobby getting tattooed when, and he got his neck tattooed, and we freaked out. Like, this motherfucker got his neck tattooed. Yeah. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Same with Andrew.
How about this? This is like after I've been tattooing for a while, but I would go to San Francisco on my days off like all the time and annoyed all the guys that are like, they're older than me, but they're my peers now, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what me and Oyer were talking about today, is like all these guys that were a little bit older than me and were already in it and were already doing good and had good ways into the business and had like 5 years on me were like gods. Like, how the fuck do you do that? I'm just trying, and I would annoy the fuck out of them. I would go to Primal Urge every fucking day off that I had and just look through the portfolios. Mm-hmm. And Everlast, Primal Urge, Tattoo City, you just sit there and look at the books. They're probably like, Jesus, kid, like, fucking beat it. But they were also kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on a street shop, it's like, depends on the mood. Like, Timothy's not going to tell you to get the fuck out.
These
Like, a
shops
biker
weren't
shop might be
really-
like, hey, kid, if you're not going to spend any money, get the fuck out of here. But those guys aren't going to say that.
For
They don't even want to have that conversation.
These weren't really street shops, San Francisco shops.
Sure.
I mean, you could walk in and look at tattoos, but they were trying to push the envelope on, like, what tattoo art could be.
Bigger appointments.
Everybody's kind of following Ed's lead, right?
Yeah.
And doing it and killing it, and I got to witness all of it. So
You feel like the Primal Urge guys were following Ed's lead, too?
I think everybody followed. I think everybody followed Ed's lead. Maybe not in a directly, but everybody followed Ed's lead in that. Let's not take everything as a first come first served basis. Let's get these guys to understand that you might have to wait 2 weeks for this whole sleeve, but it's going to look like a work of art.
It's going to be more thoughtful.
And you're not going to come in and pick 4 things. We're going to put them together and then add a bunch of, weird smoky clouds. How about we study this for a couple weeks? And that's what they were all doing. Like you would go look at Marcus's stuff or, any of the guys at Tattoo City, and they would have walls of tracings of just studies that they're working on and drawings that they've done and in progress pictures of tattoos that they developed so that they could still study them. And it was so much harder back then because you couldn't own a Xerox machine in your shop. I mean, Primal Urge, I think, didn't have a copy machine. When I was getting tattooed there, they would have to take the drawing and walk to the Office Max down the street to get them to blow it up or shrink it down.
Yeah. And
and then make stencils by hand, no Thermofax.
Yeah.
So it was harder work, but they were doing the kind of work they did, and I wanted to do that then, I thought so. I thought I wanted to push the envelope and follow these guys. I just realized I couldn't draw like any of them.
Well, a lot of tattooers realize that, you know what I mean?
It wasn't and maybe I could have. I could have went to art school. I could have went to.
Those dudes weren't art school guys, though.
Some of them were, and a lot of them had.
They're just crazy people that are relentless.
Well, you have the relentlessness, but you also have people that studied. Like a lot of those guys went and studied, and maybe they didn't go to art school, but they definitely took drawing classes.
They studied art,
and they definitely went to a figure drawing class.
Sure.
And they were already in it, 4 or 5 years. So their egos allowed them to share information with each other, which takes a seasoned guy to be able to share information.
And street shop guys are taught to guard your information. Keep it to yourself. Don't get every tattoo you can. Don't let anyone else get one. And those dudes were.
These guys are all working together, I mean, whether they were or not in a little bit of a competition, I think it was like a friendly competition.
Well,
from what I remember, I got tattooed by Scott Sylvia at 222, and I saw Whitehead a week later, and he's like, "Man, I heard about this tattoo you got. I got to see it," because they were like, "Oh, I just tattooed this guy, did this. Let me see it." They're going back and forth. So,
but that's I want to do the best tattoo. And then the next guy's like, I want to do the best tattoo.
It was not happening anywhere else.
That's good.
And I was just a kid coming into tattooing, seeing this and seeing what's possible, and at the same time realizing fuck, I'm a long ways from that, But then, so keep going. I think 94, 95. Paco and Adrian and Grimey opened up New School in San Jose.
Yeah.
And Paco originally was from Oakland. Paco Excel, Adrian Lee, and Grimey.
Yeah.
And Paco originally was from Oakland or the Bay Area, and I knew him from then, and I had gotten tattooed by him when he was learning how to tattoo in Oakland. And so when he heard that I was trying to tattoo, he said, "Hey man, come over here, we'll get you squared away. I'll teach you what we know." And what ended up happening is Adrian kind of taught me more. He was the technical guy.
Yeah, his tattoos are fucking wild.
So what's great, and I don't know if he'll listen to this, but it's I've I've never been more proud of one person because I've watched from the beginning, from day one of Adrian starting the tattoo, like, and how hard he worked to like what he's doing now is exactly where he wants to be and wanted to be like 30 years ago, and he got there. And it's so cool to see like the progression and the hard work because he did it and he like gave up everything to do this. You know, it's really fucking cool. But he helped me as much as he could, and he helped me more than he knows. But you know, I wasn't really
that's what got you squared away.
Yeah, Adrian, Paco, Grimy left. Grimy left and went to Primal Urge when Timothy came here, Virginia, and I took Grimy's full-time spot at New School in San Jose.
Gotcha.
And I didn't drive, so I took the bus and the train like an hour and a half each way from Oakland to San Jose every day.
For the whole time?
So it's like 3 hours, yeah, the whole time. And if I work too late and miss the bus, you know, now there's like a train that goes the whole way, but you just have to take the BART, and then you have to take a bus. If you missed the bus, you were like late for work, so you get there like an hour too early, so you weren't late. So if I missed the bus home, I'd have to stay at Adrian's house, and he'd put me up so many nights on his couch. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Where I'd have to like drag me to his band practice, but I couldn't, you know, where else am I gonna go?
Yeah.
I wasn't old enough to go to a bar and drink, you know.
That's so great. I had no idea that's where you started. How long did you have to do?
So,
and what kind of tattoo? Like, were you trying to establish a point of view?
This I think was like the big. I think I learned more there than I ever gave it credit, because I remember the tattoo the few tattoos I did where I went from like not knowing what I was doing to like kind of figured it out. And I remember knowing that I didn't want to follow their lead. Like they were really, like everybody looked to the San Francisco guys, and I just say as a whole, like all the guys in the shops in San Francisco, everybody looked and like followed that model and wanted to do like bigger work, full sleeves, big body work. I mean, and Adrian proved it, right?
Big time.
And all the guys that followed, like when New School stopped, there was like a split between him and Paco, and Adrian started Analog, and all the guys that followed him there, I mean, went on to do amazing stuff too. I never worked with those guys, but like Phil Holt, Matt Shama, just like crushed. Matt Shama's crusher.
He's a fucking spectacular tattooer.
So I haven't seen Matt in like 30 years, and I would like to run into him. Same with Phil Holt. I would like to run into those guys at some point, because I think, like, you know, not like we were great friends or anything, but it'd be really cool to just like kind of catch up, like a reunion style catch up.
He's got a great spirit. He's a positive, nice person.
I heard he's a good poker player now too.
I don't know about that, but he came up to me in Sacramento and said that he loved my cooking videos, and that he made a soup that I made. That, like, it became like a staple in their house. So like he makes it a version of it, or he changes as it goes, which is what you're supposed to do when you're a home cook, you know. Yeah. And he was so fucking nice about it. He was just like, you know, really complimentary to me, and he didn't know me from anybody. He was just super, super nice, man. I just really thought, and his fucking tattoos are spectacular. So when you find somebody you admire what they do, and then they turn out to be very cool and nice,
for sure,
it's like a fucking bonus. And that's just, you know, I love that shit.
Yeah.
So when New School split, you had to find...
Well, I was gone. I left before that.
Okay.
I left before they split, you know. So I left 1 year. We all did a tattoo convention in Santa Rosa, and me and Eric Hogan hit it off. And I knew him from like back in the day because he was from Hayward. I was from Oakland. He's older than me, but anyway, he wanted me to come up to Sacramento. So yeah, I went, man. It was like no brainer. I wasn't destined to be this guy doing full body suits of graffiti tattoos. I did not, like, real early in tattooing, I realized I didn't want to be the graffiti guy.
Right.
You know, I wanted to go learn how to tattoo this way. You know, like a traditional style tattooing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not like traditional, but I wanted to, you know, first time I went up there, you're just doing walk-ins on regular people, and it was so easy and fun. And
this is mid-90s?
Yeah, so this was 97.
97, okay.
97.
Yeah. And what's the average customer get? Because in a town as big as Sacramento, it wasn't like everybody wanted black and gray stuff. It was people were getting dolphins and fucking Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, so Sacramento was like very, you know, even though it's like Valley, California, North California Valley or whatever, it's still got like all the races of people.
Yeah, working class folks.
Working class people, you know, industry town, surrounded by farm towns.
Yeah.
You know, so you just had everybody, colleges, and it was the same as everything in the 90s. It was you're tattooing from summer break till November, and then December, January, February, March, April, you're fucking dead.
Not much happening, yeah.
You know, so you'd kill it in the, you know, half the year, but just we doing the regular shit, the same shit they were getting here. You know, it's like suns and moons on lower backs.
Yeah, dog.
Tribal bands.
Lots of bands, barbed wire.
Dripping chocolate, dripping strawberries on boobs. You know, I mean, you were doing all the regular
Cherries.
shit. You know, small little dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no tattoo. Very rarely was a tattoo bigger than a palm.
Isn't it funny as shit when someone walks in and you go, "How can I help you?" And it's this like 28-year-old lady who's like, "Well, hon, I gotta tell you, I love dolphins." You're like, "Fuck, you love dolphins?" And that's just hilarious to me, but it's so common.
Yeah,
this used to be.
Yeah, so when I went to American Graffiti, it was still owned by the three guys. So it was Eric Hogan, Scott Sylvia, and Nate. And I don't know what happened to Nate. He was like in and out while I was there, and he ended up moving down to Oakland, working for Freddie for a while, and I don't know what happened. Eric and Scott had their split up, you know, when I was there, and I worked for Eric until he passed away.
Was that a hard thing, or was it just they just had different opinions in the?
Yeah, I mean, I think they were like brothers, and they just went separate paths. But
sure,
you know, I've been hanging out with Scott a lot. I mean, me and Scott been at the same places, hanging out a whole bunch the last, you know, I don't know, 10 years or whatever. He came visit me in Hawaii. We'd go to lunch all the fucking time when we end up in places. He's great, man, and he's like the best tattooer ever.
Yeah.
You know, he just kills it. He taught me so much, and it's great. I mean, I don't know him well,
but I mean, his influence is,
you know, so like my first 4 or 5 years that I was at American Graffiti, I had like this pile of drawings that he left. So, you know, the internet didn't exist.
Yeah.
So we tattooed like walk-in stuff, and when it was slow, we tattooed all the like punk rocker, skinhead kids, guys in bands. I mean, like all these famous punk rock bands were getting tattooed there. AFI guys and what's that other fucking band?
Rancid Guys.
The Rancid Guys.
Yeah.
And U.S. Bombs guys are getting tattooed there. Is that Dwayne Peters?
I guess they were more Orange County.
Yeah, they're Orange County.
Yeah.
Tattooed all the Smut Peddlers guys. Those were our buddies, though. I'm still friends with them. But yeah, I mean, they would just get like traditional American tattoos. So you would get to like
daggers, just
pin-up girls and stuff like that. But man, my secret weapon was I had this file of drawings that Scott had left that nobody knew he had left. So I got to do those tattoos. Like people were like, "Look at this." I was like, "Oh yeah." So I mean, there was just ways he
the Rose
laid out
guy at that point already.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been good. So like whatever, even though you can date stuff from people, he was always like 50% better than you. You know, so if you were doing
better than most.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. It's like he was doing something that you would consider like now, it was still way fucking cooler than what everybody else was doing. You know. So, but I mean, I still see tattoos that he did from 30 fucking years ago that are better than anything I could do now. But anyway, I had this secret weapon of shit, and I tattooed everybody with it, and it figured out ways to lay out things. And I was still going out there and getting tattooed from him, and getting tattooed in San Francisco a bunch, and tattooed from Whitehead a bunch, and tattooed at Tattoo City a bunch. And I think that's how I learned, really, was like going there, gathering like bits of information, and then going back and putting them on people. And I stayed in Sacramento for, after Eric died, I mean, I was there another 3 years, I guess.
Stayed at the same shop?
Stayed at the same shop,
Yeah.
American Graffiti. His wife owned it after he died. I mean, she still owns it, still going. And they moved buildings a couple times. I think she had a partner. They split up. Yeah, they're still going and doing tattoos. Crazy, because they opened in like 90 or 91,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's the shit.
So it's cool. It's like,
well, I just, Alley Cat's going to have 25, and I'm just thinking about all these tremendous shops, and I'm like, man, that's 40-year shops, like Inksmith and Rogers, for instance,
20 years ain't shit. I have the biggest problem thinking that I've been doing this for this long, because I think I just started. I still think of all these guys that are around me as the older guys, and people are pretending that I'm an old guy.
I can't believe I'm going to be 48 in June, and I just can't believe how close 50 is.
It's close, dude. It's close.
How old are you?
49. I'll be 50 like...
Oh, it's close to 50.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's so close, I got, like, my birthday plan type close.
When is it?
In June.
June what?
20th.
Me and Kylie are June 10th.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And Hannibal.
June 20th, and then...
what you gonna do? You going to fucking Kalamazoo?
I'm gonna... It was between a couple things, but I'm gonna go... me and my buddy Nate gonna go climb Mount Fuji.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Which sounds crazier than it is, but it's... I mean, it does entail getting on a plane and going to Japan.
Casually go to Japan, like people go to fucking, to Myrtle Beach. You know what I mean? You stay. I was thinking earlier when you were talking about the freedom you had as a young person and the fucking just the will to go. I'm gonna go to a city that I've never been to and write graffiti for a few days and just see what happens. And I wonder if that spirit never left you. Apparently, you still will go anywhere. Like I'll be like, "Yo, what's up?" And you're like, "I'm in Thailand."
I've never been to Thailand though. Yeah.
Wherever.
Yeah.
And it's just like. It's endless.
Well, I mean, there was a long time that I didn't do shit though. Like
air miles, like it's outrageous.
Yeah, it's not that. Man, ticket flights have gotten so expensive with this shit going on right now that I'm pretty much traveling this whole year on my miles because I can't afford to fly right now.
You got them.
Like the flight to come here was almost $4,000.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I had to use the miles because I like you and all, but...
You need anything?
No, I'm good. So where are we at? Sacramento?
Yeah, so I was going to say...
So Sacramento, Eric passed away, stayed there for a while.
Are you like very much at that time sort of rooted in the lifestyle? You stayed at that shop for fucking 5 years or whatever it was? How many years?
I was there under 10 years.
But like when Eric dies... You stay another 3 years or whatever it was. Is it because you're very much like, well, I'm a street shop guy. I work for a living. The shop's stable, and here I am making tattoos.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed there probably not long enough, but also too long. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I could have stayed there longer. Because I could have built up.
Okay.
I could have built up like more customers, and I was already, like that part of town. I was already tattooing every day, like people coming in for me, and starting to do like bigger tattoos and learning how to lay out bigger tattoos and arms and backs and stuff like that. And then I just couldn't stay anymore, man. I just had to go. There was just like. Yeah, it was crazy. So like I bought a house. I owned a house already. I was like in my early 20s. I had a kid who was moving away anyway, so my daughter and her mom lived in Oakland. They were moving to Europe. Me and my wife were like, well, what the fuck are we doing here if you're not going to see your kid? You know, my wife's from Hawaii. Like, just go to Hawaii. You know, so we sold our house in. We went and spent we actually went and spent a couple months in Europe.
To sort of see your daughter off.
So it was like, I don't know what the fuck we were thinking. They moved to France, and we were like, well, let's see what it's like. Let's move to Italy. That'll be like. Yeah, it's like so weird. So they moved to France. Like, let's move to Italy and see if we can make it work.
Y'all had no children at the time.
No. Just had my one daughter, and I think she was like kindergarten age, maybe.
Yeah.
So by the time, I mean, it was quick, man. By the time we sold our house and went to Europe, they had already failed. Like, France was a failure, and they had already moved back. But we're like, well, fuck, we're in Europe, so let's just fuck off.
I think anybody that moves to France has to be filthy rich to succeed.
No, this was like, and they were on some Buddhist, like hippie commune kind of thing, which I thought was super weird back then, and now it sounds really enticing. Like, I'd probably want to do it.
But it doesn't seem like France is the place for that.
No, they got like a spot there that they went to, and I thought it was some weird cult, but it's actually like pretty cool. Now that I'm older, I can look at it with a different eye.
Sure.
And it's like they were trying to do something cool. Her and her boyfriend and my kid were planning on doing something good. It just didn't work out. Whether they were too young, I don't know. But my oldest and her mom are doing great, and that's great. I'm super happy for them now.
Yeah,
but we, of course, you know, like, she's almost 30.
Yeah.
And we've had our differences, but they're doing great, so that's great. But yeah, so we moved there, kind of chasing them to Italy.
Where in Italy?
In Verona.
So you tattooing there?
Yeah, I did, and
yeah, we've had a lot of talks about life, and you've never mentioned this to me.
Well, it's like not that big of a part of my life, you know. I'm like, all right, we're moving to Italy, but like, we rented a house for 2 months.
Okay.
We rented a house for 2 months, but like they charged us by the week. I forget how it was, but it was like 1,000-year-old building. It was so sick.
That's what I'm saying.
But it was never going to work out because tattooing wasn't a thing there yet. You know, it was like
to the public.
A few people were getting tattooed, and of course there was like conventions, and you would be busy maybe if you went to like a bigger city in Germany or a port town or England or Amsterdam. But this town wasn't going to make it, even though my friend Beppe had a shop that he put together and he was doing it, and I was trying to figure out how to stay there, and it wasn't going to happen.
Well,
you know?
I went to Germany in 1996, and you walk in a tattoo shop there, and like the guy, like the head tattoo guy, has like a tank top on and a Celtic armband and like a shaved head and some weird glasses on.
A blonde braid, blonde braid, and
it's like it's 1987 when it's 1996. And like they're like, not to say that Europe's 10 years behind on everything, but in the tattoo culture, it definitely was. It was like they hadn't even seen tattoo.
So Italy wasn't even like that. And the reason we wanted to go there was because Beppe had just spent a month living with me in California. He came to Sacramento and stayed with me and Holly for like a month or 6 weeks, and we got to be really close. So we're like, well, let's just go there and spend our time there. And I would clean up when I tattooed in Germany, but Italy, I couldn't figure it out. You know, it just wasn't happening. And Beppe was like building this shop and building the culture around his shop, and he did a great job. He's still killing it. I'm going out there in September, and I haven't been back in a long time. But
same shop,
same location. Dude. I think it's like a couple blocks away and bigger.
Okay. But I'm saying that'll be wild for you just to go back there. I've
been back a few times, but and the town like blew up. You know, like.
Yeah.
I think world travelers kind of made cities crazy. But yeah, Beppe was like, I mean, he still is like my brother. So we were there. I don't know
that well, but he was friends with Brian Bruno and Chad Soner and those guys. And so I've become friends with a lot of people through my friends. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
and Pepe's a guy who, like, I hung out with him a little bit in Germany, I hung out with him a little bit in Richmond, but he's always very nice to me. And I like Italians.
We were around each other in the beginning, you know, and I was tattooing like some years before him, but he was older than me. So it's like we got along. We still get along. I talked to him forever the other day. And so that wasn't going to work out because my kid had already moved back, and like I wasn't making any money, and it was costing us a ton of money to be there. So we just enjoyed it more like a vacation.
Was Holly just kicking it, or was she working too?
Just bored out of her mind, you know, like enjoying it, but like being stuck in a town.
And you can't just
for that long
and just live easy.
No, I mean I haven't picked up English yet, you know. So, but she dug it, but she's also, I mean, she's also like, you know, early 20s. We're in our early 20s, and we're stuck in this kind of town that we don't know anybody except them.
Yeah.
And Beppe and Sarah are awesome, but you know, they got some cousins that are awesome, but like that's all we knew, and we weren't going to know
for
anybody.
every day
I mean, I would get my cappuccino in the morning, see a guy at the bar for espresso in the daytime, and that's it. We go to our apartment and watch the one English channel, which was like MTV Europe, and they had 3 fucking songs on repeat. It was kind of, we just got kind of tired and like, all right, let's go back. So we moved to Hawaii, and we were in Hawaii for a while, and yeah, that was a trip. That was great to be there, like before the internet.
Have you been there since, like the entire time?
No, because we stayed there until we had our son. We moved to Washington State.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We opened a tattoo shop there.
Yeah.
And then one shitty winter, we moved back to Hawaii, and we've been there since.
Just because it was cold and fucking bullshit?
Actually, we had like a real bad winter, and then the summer was amazing. And we're like, all right,
we can do this all the time.
That's exactly what happened. It was like my good friend's brother was living in Maui, and
again, Holly's from Hawaii.
So yeah, born and raised on Oahu. So we, my friend Alan Thompson, he owns Trader Bob's. Me and him became pretty tight, and he goes, "Hey, my brother's living on Maui. I'm gonna go visit him. You should come check it out. I'm thinking about going and getting my license and going and working over there a little bit, maybe moving." And I was like, "Well, fuck it. If you move, I'll move." And he went over there. I went and visited, stayed with his brother. His brother said he's gonna move out the house. I talked to the landlord. I rented the house. I flew back to Washington. We packed our shit and moved. I mean, it was like 2 weeks.
And Holly was down immediately?
I mean, it took a little shake, but you know, it's like pretty hard to go like, "Hey, you got a house full of stuff, throw it all away."
Because you can't take your couch to Hawaii.
No, there's no. I mean, you could, but it costs too much. It's cheaper just to buy another one.
A man works for a living, King, right?
No.
You can't say we're going to put some heavy ass shit. No, just don't worry. And then
we took.
How long ago was that? 20 years. Cash was a kid.
So Cash in first grade. So it's like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in theory you could have rented a fucking.
Yeah, I could have got a container.
The container,
you know, the container would have cost me $7,000. But when you say $7,000 15 years ago, you're saying $40,000 now.
Yeah.
So like, if you know, so I said, well, we could get a container, or we can have a yard sale, and I could give you $5,000, and you can just buy whatever you want.
Shit we get.
Yeah. And that's what we did. You know, we just bought all new shit, and we didn't need shit because we're going to Hawaii. So like, you don't need blankets, you don't need winter coats.
That's so funny to me. I haven't been to Hawaii. I need to go. But so what island did you move to?
Maui.
And did you? And that's the one, right? The nicest one, the one that everyone wants to be on.
I don't know. They all have their.
I'm sure none of them are whack. I'm sure they're all fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. We were in our dream home and everything. And
where were you tattooing? Or is that when you started?
No,
the life you live now.
That's when I started the life I live now.
Okay, so 15 years ago, at that point, So, like, since I've known you...
Yeah, but we're kind of skipping over to the moments that I worked on Oahu.
I don't want to skip over that. I just want to say something. Since I've known you, you've established a point of view as a tattooer that you've tightened up and tightened up and tightened up. You know what I mean? Kind of like Chris O'Donnell does. Like, there's a handful of things you do, and you just improve upon those things a lot. I know your shit don't look like Chris O'Donnell's. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Were you at that stage yet? Were you creating stuff that was like looked exactly like your shit yet?
No. So okay. So that was kind of the point. Like maybe a year before I left to go to Hawaii was like when I was really trying to make that point.
And I said, so since I know you, more since I've been aware of your stuff.
Okay, so when I was in California, working around Hogan, we were doing traditional tattoos, and there was like a look that shop had that I don't know how much I had to do with it. I think it was Eric and Scott, and then Scott leaving, Eric really pushing these 3 Sailor Jerry books that nobody else had but tattooing everybody with it, that it was like pushing this American Graffiti look that Sacramento has never shook. It all came from him. There's all the guys that came from that American Graffiti shop that are still tattooing still push that look, and the guys that worked there from there had that look, and I always liked being able to have a look, but I got lost.
It's also good.
I got lost, and there was nothing to really look at. I moved to Hawaii and it was like 2002 or something like that, and I moved over there not really knowing anybody, and I went and worked at South Pacific with Scott Sterling. It's like a bunch of old dudes, and we're just doing fucking walk-ins on military guys off the wall and making crazy money and crazy amounts of tattoos and crazy hours that I feel like that was like the shittiest time in my tattoo career, because you kind of lost focus on doing quality work, and your more focus was like paying off your mortgage, and I got in that habit of like, I need to just do more and more and more production. I could work,
and there was an endless amount of clients that were traveling and coming through.
Yeah, it was like 3 shops in all of Waikiki. So, and Waikiki is like the Vegas Strip in Hawaii.
All right, so tell
all
me,
the military guys, all the tourists.
So before we get to your current life, tell me where you worked, but also I want to know, like, who's tattooing in Hawaii, who's been tattooing in Hawaii, where did tattoo culture originate? Like, everybody knows about Jerry, but there's a precursor to Jerry. And there's other people that are relevant. Do you mind sort of breaking down? I feel like we need a fucking dry erase board with a fucking tree, you know what I mean? But
yeah. I mean, it would take forever too, but like...
but you can give the podcast version.
Okay, so like, Jerry was there, Jerry... I mean, I think pretty much everybody knows, or should know, that like Malone got the shot from Jerry.
Correct. It was...
And when Jerry passed away in his will, it was like left to like one of 3 people. It was like Hardy, Zeke, or Malone.
Right.
And I think Hardy was doing the Japan thing. Zeke had something else going on, so Malone got it. And Malone kind of helped get the Hawaii regulations going to like get a license to keep people out of Hawaii, from moving over there. And Malone, to come out of China Sea was like him. He taught Candy Everett. Like you can go back and listen to Leo talk about it, but Leo started there, or tattooed there for a long time. Lance McLean, and Scott Sterling.
So they all came out of China Sea?
They all came out of China Sea. Well, Scott, was already tattooing like 5 or 6 years or 7 years when he went there. Lance started there. Candy started there. I mean, if Leo started somewhere else, he worked there for a long time. If Mike Brown started somewhere else, he worked there for a long time. Those were...
Did Ed introduce Scott to that world?
No, I think Scott met Malone at a convention when Scott was working for Moses.
Okay, yeah.
not really positive on that, but I think
if you don't know who Sailor Moses is, listen to Sean Anderson. You were asking about my favorite episodes earlier. Sean Anderson's episode is incredible. I'm not to get distracted, but
you know, besides just those guys, so like Lance tattooed until a couple years ago in Hawaii, and he was like Hawaii legend, held the #1 tattoo license. You know, he had #1. He had Dragon Tattoo in Wahiawa. And then Don Nolan and his brother Tom worked in Chinatown too. Tom worked for Jerry for a long time, and Nolan worked down the street, and then Tom ended up going and working with Nolan down the street.
Gotcha.
There's a bunch of crooked shit there. And then, but before them, I mean, I know the guy who taught Jerry how to tattoo was a Filipino tattooer in Chinatown, and he kind of taught a bunch of Filipino tattooers.
Like his family?
His family. So he was the uncle of...
And what was his name?
His name was Roberto Galang. And he was the uncle of Eugene Miller. And Eugene Miller, there's like a picture of him tattooing in Chinatown, like 12 or 13 years old. You ever see that picture?
Yeah.
It's in one of the Jerry books.
Yeah, it's great.
And so it's like him and his brother tattooed in, you know, Eugene tattooed in Hawaii, and then his brother tattooed in San Diego. They were both like young kids. And then, yeah, Roberto taught Jerry. I think Jerry moved to Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then he moved back. And then, I'm trying to think, who was the other guy? There's another guy that was really important that tattooed right there in Chinatown at the time. There was a bunch of shops. I mean, Jerry was definitely got the recognition, but like if Hardy wouldn't have wrote about him, no one would have known about him.
But did Hardy point his stuff out because it was exceptional?
Dude, it was exceptional for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But you know what's more exceptional is if you look at the stuff where it came from. I mean, like the stuff that Jerry is popular for, all the sailor tattoo images were Brooklyn Joe Lieber images. And if you ever look at it, like I was super stoked I got to go to this show, but I just happened to be in San Francisco, and Hardy did a show on Lou the Jew.
Right.
And it was
and
like
Jill
all
had
these
written
drawings.
something for that too, right? Jill did some sort of presentation for that or something?
Did she? I don't know. But it was at the Jewish Museum in San Francisco, so
yeah. Anyway,
I don't want to say if she did or not, but you know, she's a good writer, so probably.
Yeah.
But at the show, the Lou the Jew book is sick. It's all in one book. It's like a catalog of all these drawings, and they're really cool. But then when you see them all on the wall, it's like a small amount of drawings. Fits on like one small wall. But then he had like 3 giant walls with all the Joe Lieber sheets. And the museum let you take photographs of them. So I just took pictures of everything. And it was so sick because some of them are exactly the same pages as the Jerry books. Like drawing for drawing, yeah. But a lot of them are changed, you know, the drawings. I think what Jerry...
Did Jerry make them slicker? Did he make them...
I don't necessarily know if slicker... Like, if I looked at the 2 side to side and I picked which one, I would want the one from Lieber. I think a lot of people would want the one from Jerry because they had, like, a little bit thicker outline.
Right.
And maybe a little more black. Maybe cut down on some color.
I just think of Brooklyn Joe Lieber as, like, so much longer before Jerry.
It wasn't, though.
I know.
They were trading letters. He was older, but they were like trading letters and designs for years.
Yeah. That's another cool thing about Jerry is that, you know, there was a network that he was plugged into.
Well, tattooing was super small back then.
Yeah, and
what was cool about him
far
too,
away on a regular basis.
Yeah, what I think was cool about him was he was able to figure out like the real ones and the not real ones, you know, and he would make sure that the good designs went to the right people, and like the people that would get the bad designs would, like, you know, he would fuck with the stencils.
Yeah.
You seen all that stuff? Yeah. Like the penis head dagger and stuff like that. Like he wasn't tattooing those. He would give you the stencil, and if you didn't know what the drawing was, you would just outline off the stencil, and all of a sudden you put a dick on a sailor. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
you know,
four finger girls and things like that, you would know to fix. I think that stuff was slick because thieves suck, right?
Well, also, like, you know, he's a motherfucker in some ways. You know, I like that about people.
Yeah. I think Ed definitely. I mean, you know, Ed definitely pushed Jerry because he was friends with them and he held them in high regard, and he had all the stuff.
Yeah.
But he also had all the stuff, all the Lieber stuff too. So, and he put out the book on the Lieber stuff. But I think what Jerry was really good at was like he traded with Pinky Yun real early.
Yeah.
And he really wanted to push the Asian stuff, and he was doing like 3-day back pieces on people and doing Japanese stuff or Chinese stuff back then when there was no reference. I think that's really important for what Jerry did.
Well, and Ed was also into the Asian stuff, and he loved Japanese tattooing. So the American version that Jerry's doing is really palatable, but also Oriental, if you will, exotic, if you will, and that has a value to it that, like, to this day.
Well, in Hawaii's always been the in between, right? It's the in between of Asia and America.
And then you think about somebody like Aaron Coleman, who I fucking just love his shit so much, and you see like these strong traditional images with Japanese background. You know, that's like some of the best looking tattoos you'll ever see. When you see a motherfucking, you know, a pinup girl with wind bars behind her, that looks incredible. That feels right every time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
Crazy is Aaron's tattoos just keep getting better and better every year, dude. It's
Bad
so
motherfucker,
nuts.
bro. He's been one of my favorites forever. And when I met him here in Richmond, nicest dude in the world. He treated us so fucking well.
Yeah.
Just great.
Did you get him on this?
Huh?
You interview him yet?
I have not.
You got to do it.
He ain't been back. I don't go to Arizona. And
You know, I know he had a hard couple years, man, and
he's been showing up on Instagram smiling like a motherfucker. I love it.
He gave me the fucking the best hug the other day when I seen him, and I was just so happy to see him, and it was so fucking cool. And he's traveling again and tattooing him. I'm gonna see him in 2 weeks. I'm stoked.
His shit is tough as nails, bro.
Yeah.
I can't say enough great things about his tattoos.
Well,
and then,
dude,
like I
check
said,
this out.
When you meet him and he's so fucking nice, it's just like we've been talking about this all day. When you meet somebody that you admire their shit, and then they're rad.
Yeah.
And he's the epitome of that.
Yeah, he doesn't have to try because he knows he's good, you know.
But you know, back to that other conversation. It's like those things. Ed liked those things, and Jerry was mixing them up.
Right.
Jerry was adding the Japanese flavor to the Brooklyn Joe Lieber stuff, and Ed, I'm sure, loved that.
Oh, for sure. And Jerry ended up being the connection to put Ed in touch with Jorge Oguri, and then Ed went to Japan. You know, I mean, I guess that's the thing. You know, I wish there was a minute there that me and Lance were talking, and Lance was going to let me publish a book on him, and he had all the stuff out. You know, we had all the flash, we had, you know, hundreds of photos and hundreds of drawings, and it would have been a giant book, you know. And luckily, Hardy got to help Malone put out the book on his drawings, that Bullseyes and Black Eyes book, you know, which was fucking fabulous. And I think it's probably one of the best tattoo books ever. It's the one.
The one.
Honestly, the best.
Yeah.
Like to me,
I like his. You know, Ed sort of changed the game, and like we all are where we're at. But Malone is just the best. It's just the best, and it's the best for street shop tattooing. It's the best for you know, for real deal tattooers that are doing shit every day. His shit, it just Malone's the one.
Yeah, his flash for sure, and then his drawings and his humor, and his personality came out and everything.
Did you have a relationship with him?
You know, I wish I had a better relationship with them. Not saying we had a bad relationship, but I had every opportunity to hang out with them as much as I wanted. When he moved, there was a while that he moved to his mom's house in Northern California, and I went out there a handful of times and got small doses of critiques, and I was still pretty young, but it was more. After Eric died in Sacramento, Lee Hanna came to work out there. I don't know if you know who that is. But
I know who he is.
He passed away.
Yeah. And when people talk about him, they talk about him like they loved him more than anything.
He was great. It was another sad story, but like he was my buddy, and we would go down there and, you know, buy stuff off of Malone and
Sure.
and give him enough money to where he'd pretend to want us around. That's pretty much what it was. I mean, and that's cool, you know.
Sure.
A kid you don't want to see comes through the shop and buys a tattoo and some T-shirts and some paintings. Like, you let him hang out all day. So we were probably that guy, you know.
Wrong with that.
But I should have did that every day, you know.
Can you expand? You said his humor. Can you expand on like his personality a little bit? Or do you,
I don't know him.
like you
I didn't
know
know him well enough to expand on it that much, but like you could tell. So when you look at the flash that he did, like the Mr. Lucky Flash, the oversized flash, and all that flash, it's almost like it's still like in its biker age, like tattooing's in its biker age, but he's coming out of there. He's thickening up outlines, he's simpling down designs, but it's still, and he's making the eagles cooler, he's making the sharks cooler, you know, the sailor tattoos are getting cooler. But then when he starts drawing his own designs, there's like a humor to him, you know. You have the monkey.
Yes.
You know, you get the like there's you just see he's having fun with it. You could tell by looking at a drawing if somebody's into it or not, like right away.
100%.
Yeah, I think that the perfect tattoo in my mind is like in between of Malone and Koronuma.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like somewhere in there is like the perfect tattoo in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I get happy seeing anything Malone does. You know, for a long time, there's a lady, I go to swap meet every Sunday, and there was a lady that sold at the swap meet. She passed away, but she had the two sleeves from Malone, and I seen him all the time. And she had her back done from him too, and she would only show you her back once in a while.
Yeah.
But it was fucking sick.
Well, like, if you had to say style-wise, like, was it...
It's in the Tattoo Times. Why I can't remember. I mean, it's Japanese stuff.
Okay, what?
Yeah, it's Japanese stuff. But, and I think Scott had tattooed her daughter, Sterling.
Yeah.
And there's a guy. That's fun. I mean, I think we told all those stories.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun, man. I really liked Scott. The one thing I was telling you earlier, when I went to work with Scott, he was younger than I am now.
Yeah.
And I thought Scott was fucking old.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go work with this old guy. He had the perfect flat top, like a grayed out flat top, and the shitty old man shoes.
Right? Trying to be Jerry with the flat top.
I mean, we had to wear Aloha shirts every day to work. You know,
Really?
you had to wear a collared shirt every day. And the rule was if two people showed up with the same Aloha shirt, you had to go buy a new shirt. And
So
it
what-
happened quite a
and
bit.
what shop was that?
South Pacific.
South Pacific, all right.
Yeah.
And so what was the crew like? What was the crew there?
When I got there, it was Smiling Paul. Well, Wanda owned the shop. Smiling Paul, Scott Sterling, and me. I think Paul left real early. I took Candy's spot. Makua was working there. Makua's still kind of in the same spot. It's not South Pacific anymore, but Wando passed away. You know, Scott's up here.
And Wando was also like a big figure, right?
Yeah, Wando was like a early tattooer from Vegas.
I've just heard his name a bunch, but I've never heard anybody expand on it.
So, his name was Thomas Wondolowski.
You say Wando, it just sounds like, oh, this is a fucking Asian guy.
Fucking wizard.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was like a high school wrestler, like tough guy, you know.
Right.
But when I met him, he was like a half bald, like tattooed Danny DeVito looking dude.
Nice.
You know, he had a ponytail. There's like a famous picture. I'll find it for you too, of him and Gil and Randy Adams on the cover of Tattoos for Men.
Oh shit. I mean, I can just imagine how dope that is. Hilarious.
Yeah, but I think I want to say Wando learned how to tattoo from Doc Dog and Smiling Paul, and maybe Gil as well. But early on, it was Las Vegas Tattoo, and it was him and Smiling Paul and Doc Dog and Gil.
Yeah.
Fuck. To have those 4 dudes in the only tattoo shop in Vegas.
Yeah.
The only shop in Vegas.
I know Gil a little bit. Not much at all.
Dude,
but,
Gil?
You know, he was in Richmond every year in the 90s, and I would come every year and just hang around. You know what I mean? And so sometimes he would just be at the table with us or at the table next to us and just being fucking loud and doing Gil stuff.
Dude, Gil, yeah, and I didn't really know that side of Gil, you know? I mean, a little bit, and he's definitely like a personality, right?
Yeah.
But Gil, when he sold Tattoo Mania in Hollywood, he came and worked with us at American Graffiti for like a year and a half. And he had got remarried. He married Angie. I mean, I haven't really spent much time with Gil in a long time, but like when he came to California, he was married to a girl named Angie. His daughter Sheila was married to Tico. Tico was working with us. They had just had a kid. I taught Tico how to drive a truck. Him and Sheila bought my truck. They still owe me money. You know, but like we're at American Graffiti. We're all hooligans, but we were all sober. You know, like we pretty much like Gil was sober when he was there. We were fishing buddies. We were drinking non-alcoholic beers on the river, fishing and shit. It wasn't the like stories that people have of Gil.
Sure.
You know, I got these like Gil was like an awesome fucking grandpa and a husband, and he was around the shop, and he was funny as shit, and we had so much fun. And you know, there wasn't really the biker shit going on at that time when, you know, the biker stuff did come into play like at that shop, but we're just fucking doing tattoos, and you know, he was cool as shit. I had a great time with him. So I hear, you know, you hear all the stories about Gil, and he'll tell you all the stories about himself. The stories I have about Gil are like pretty fun, and watching him like be a grandpa and be a dad to his daughter, and you know, his son-in-law was Tico was.
He was
like
a grandpa the era you're talking about is like fucking 97. He was a grandpa then.
Yeah,
it's fucking 30 fucking years ago, dog.
Yeah. Right. And I don't know what, you know, I know he's still in the tattoo. I see his videos sometimes on the internet, and I seen him not too long ago in Hawaii. He was at a convention, but when I say not too long ago, it's probably been like 17 years or something like that, you know.
So I don't hold you to any of this stuff, and I don't expect you, just like I was talking about Keith. I asked Keith a question one time. He's like, look, I'm not going to be the fucking...
Yeah.
I'm not, but can you tell me a little bit about Smiling Paul? That's a name I've heard a bunch. I don't know anything about him.
So I don't know too much about him. Says he was like a great tattooer.
Did he get the name because he smiled a lot, or because he fucking scowled a lot?
He was, you know, I mean, I think
it's also funny that Paul Rogers is known for a smile.
I think he had his demons like everybody has, you know, but he was a super nice guy.
Yeah.
And his brother, his brother's name's Bub, and they both did fucking, and they did amazing tattoos. And his brother, even after Paul passed away, his brother still come out to Hawaii and tattoo at the shop, and he was super fun to work with.
Yeah.
And then there's like Bub's kid too, say with Jake. I could be getting it all wrong, but I think they're still in Vegas tattooing, and there was like maybe drag racing cars or something like that. But they had Paradise Tattoo in Vegas forever. I don't think it's there anymore. And maybe they're retired. But yeah, Paul was like, he had the cane, he always smiled. He was fucking legendary of that time, you know? Just to think of like what you had to do to be the only one in all of Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, it's work. You know, and Wando tried to carry that on to us in Hawaii. You know, that like, you're in Waikiki, it's all based on relationships. You know, you make this much money, go stay in this hotel and go eat at this restaurant and go eat $250 steaks every night and go drink. I mean, he would get $250 steaks delivered to the shop for everybody in the shop. He gets 7 steaks delivered to
Was
the shop.
everybody making crazy dough? I mean, relative to the time,
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, and I think like chasing the money gave me a bunch of bad years of tattooing. At least like set my career backwards. Was like chasing this money, and one day I just decided like I can't chase this money anymore. I want to chase like becoming like a better tattooer.
like fellowship kind of stuff.
Like I just wanted to spend my time working on drawings and what I'm gonna do with my life instead of like trying to do as many turtles as I could do.
So, first of all, I love hearing about all this stuff because every shop that you've talked about, and whether you say it when you're talking about working it or when you loop back around to it, there's a networking aspect of tattooing that I'm very much a part of now, but it didn't exist for us in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like we were just like 3 or 4 people in a shop working every day trying to just do tattoos or in piercings and just, you know, just dealing with the local people. And that now I'm part of a network where you come to Alley Cat and Ange comes and Lehigh and all these other motherfuckers that I'm so grateful for. But you're talking about that. You're talking about people coming from Vegas to Hawaii regular. You're talking about people coming to Sacramento regular. Like that circuit of networking, you know, that when I was going into having this conversation with you, I knew that these stories were going to come up because you've told me I did this and such, and I sat in there, or this person came and worked with us here, and I just love it, but I don't know how. You guys, you know,
yeah, but, I mean, Hawaii,
if you were in Japan, you and I could still text.
Yeah.
But that didn't exist.
No, it didn't.
And these motherfuckers
Dude, my first time going to Japan was with no internet.
Yeah.
I just happened to get lucky that like this Japanese kid put in all the work to come to Sacramento and hang out with us at Graffiti, and so I had a number for him that I couldn't call, that I had to have somebody else call and get a message to him to call me. It was fucking crazy, right? Yeah. And then I just flew there and somehow found him. Now you just with the phone, you buy your ticket, you go the next day, you don't need a visa, you store your passport.
But just the fact that you all were...
Hawaii was a trip because, well, Sacramento's relationships were built because of Eric and Scott, you know, because those guys knew all the music guys, and then they both were tattooing for so much longer. They were tattooing since they were young, so they had like a connection of all the tattooers. And then there was only two tattoo conventions in California at that time, and you did both of them.
Can I also mention briefly that in the 90s, you could walk into an airport and buy a plane ticket and get on a plane, like you could a bus ticket.
No. Check this out, even better. I had a travel agent in the 90s, and her name was Pam, and she was fucking awesome. I could call Pam. I did this multiple times. Hey Pam, I want to go to Germany. When you want to go? Tomorrow. She's like, okay. It's going to be $1,400. I mean, it was more expensive to fly there then than it is now. She's like, it's $1,400. You're going to be on this plane at this time. Pay me when you get back. And I would get my tickets.
And they would make the money.
They would be at the airport. You know, I wanted to go to Disneyland. Call Pam. You had like a travel agent. You know, she got me and my daughter tickets to go to Disneyland. Tickets for the hotel, plane tickets, the Disneyland pass, like you had a travel agent.
She just took care of it all because it was exotic for a regular guy.
But now I just get on my phone. You want to go to South Africa? I'm going to go to South Africa. I told my grandma I'm going to go to Africa. She was, how are you going to get there? Like she thought I was going to take a steamboat.
I was going to say on a ship. That's what I was going to say.
Like how long is that boat going to take? But she's 100. What are you going to say?
Your grandma's alive? She's 100?
100.
Where'd she live?
New Jersey.
Your mom's still alive too. How old's your
mom? 75.
Is she cool?
My mom's cool.
Man.
My mom's great.
She did a thing when she raised you. She did a thing.
She's cool, man. She's like she's the best. I mean, she's still getting around. We talk all the time.
And where does she live?
Oakland.
Okay, still Oakland.
Yep.
And is it her mama that's in New Jersey? Or
yeah, her mom. My father passed away, you know. And then her mom passed away, and I've never talked to anybody from that side of the family except I started talking to one of my cousins because I'm trying to get. So my grandmother was born in India. So my father's mom was born in India. You know, she's an Indian lady.
She's
and,
Indian?
Yeah. And,
White or?
No, she's Indian. Like.
You don't look like you got no Indian in you, dog.
Yeah, I mean, been out of the sun for a while. Yeah, no, I mean, like my grandmother's born in India. My father's 2 older sisters were born in India, and they all came over. They came over on a boat in 1946, 49, somewhere around there. Okay. And it was crazy because they had to have like a act of Congress to get her over here because it was during wartime.
Okay. It's
nuts. I got all the papers. So I started talking to my cousin to try to get all the paperwork in order, but I'm trying to get, there's a visa if you're of Indian descent but living somewhere else that I could get a lifetime visa over there, buy property, own a business.
Don't open a tattoo shop, maybe?
Yeah, what, do 40-cent tattoos the rest of my life? No, but I wouldn't mind having...
travel freely over there.
I wouldn't mind having a visa that's permanent, that I could do whatever I want. I don't want to take away from anything, but I would like to give back to people. And
You've been over there.
Been there a couple times.
Yeah, fucking
and I got
snakes shit, dog. Yeah.
But I didn't realize that I still had family there because my grandmother came to America and all of her family went to Australia. So all of my Indian family that I know of, like either came here or went to Australia. I still have cousins there. I go there, and then
You see your cousin again?
Yeah.
That's great.
And then I have another cousin that lives here in Tennessee, and I connected with her to get all this paperwork together. So I'm trying to get this together like by the end of next year. But I don't want to go and like take jobs or anything like that. I just like to have some place to go to. So now I know I still have family there. So I just realized I still have family in India. So I'm going to go in December and meet them.
Take away, you'll give.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to tattoo, but I want to go over there and like learn some shit.
Sure.
A little time away.
All right,
where were we? Hawaii.
So, can you expand a little bit on your point of view as it's developed? Like I said, you and I have been friends for a couple years, but I've been aware of you for longer. And you talked about you said a little bit earlier about how you started like taking more time with drawings and trying to become better. As you're doing that, are you gravitating towards certain images? And then because your stuff looks traditional, but just like we talked about recently on the, I don't know if you listened to it, but we were talking about your stuff. Like, you have like a Chris Welk also, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
He really educated me about how he liked traditional tattoos, but he wanted to do Japanese, so he approached Japanese from a traditional point of view of stripping it down and making it a simpler thing to fit the type of drawing he was capable of. How did you develop the look that that people come to know you for?
I mean, to like say it in a sentence would be kind of tough.
Do you understand what I'm asking?
I totally understand. So I think I was like pretty lost, like lost in tattooing. At this time, I like owned a tattoo shop in Washington. We moved to Washington. I owned a tattoo shop, and we were just like, I just got right back in the mix of like, put it near a military base, tattoo first and 15th.
The old Zeke formula.
Just tattoo everybody as fast as you can, tattoo everybody, make all the money, buy a house, pay your house off, buy a fancy car, drive, I drove a fucking crazy Impala, So I got like caught up in the money, and then one day I just like wanted to be done with that shit. I just wanted to like do better, and it took like, I really had this addiction to like the hustle of it, and then I just built this addiction to doing better tattoos. I put, you trade like one addiction for another. So I started really working towards better drawing, surrounding myself with people. Like the internet started. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have a Facebook. I didn't have none of that shit. So I didn't really know anybody. The whole internet world was going on without me. But like, I didn't care. I was just tattooing like military dudes. And then I think I was like working on trying to get better. I befriended Jim Rosal. Do you know who Jim is?
No.
Jim's sick. And Jim has a shop. It's called Jim and Jenny's. They're up in Yakima, Washington. Me and him became friends. We tattooed each other. He tattooed my head. And he's friends with Coleman too. So like me and him and Coleman going back and forth. And I would go up there and he would come down to me and he was like showing me some of his stuff. And he was like really good at doing like Horioshi. It's kind of like a bummer to say, not a bummer to say, but like, I don't want to speak less of what he did, but he was kind of in the Nakano, like Horioshi 3 style of Japanese tattooing. So he's like following that path, but like tattooing every Mexican in Yakima as if they're a Japanese guy. It was sick, because they're all kind of a little bit brown.
My favorite tattooers tattoo in the van of Horioshi.
Yeah, so, and it's not a bad path to pick because now like Jim is just doing fucking Tabori tattoos now, and doing badass Japanese tattoos by hand. And so I met him. He kind of showed me this way, I got tattooed by him. All the guys at the shop started getting tattooed. He was coming down. We're building tattoo machines together. And then I started going to Texas a whole bunch. Jason Brooks really schooled the shit out of me, and sat down with me for, until the last time I was like, hey, look at all this shit. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. And he was like, I don't want to tell you shit anymore. Ask James. But we...
if you don't know Jason Brooks' stuff, because he's not all over the place. He's not all...
He's not. And, like
his
Texas...
exceptional.
Texas... I think everybody in Texas knows and everybody in the know knows, but everybody who's doing that Texas style tattoos came from Jason, and that came, and then you can like get picky and say like, oh, well, that came from Trevino or that came from Malone, or really it came from, what's his name? Who's the, they all know. They all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's like Austin style became Texas style, and the Texas style became everywhere, and now everybody's doing it. And all the people like...
Well, that's what rock and roll is, man. The blues came from somewhere.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying? Like, Texas, I think of Texas tattooing and Texas blues as a similar thing.
But Jason really... What he did more than anything, and he did a lot for me, what he did more than anything was go like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And it took like no one really kind of shook my shoulders and went like, hey, wake the fuck up, dude. Like, you're better than that. And just do it this way. And just follow this path. And
but your shit don't look like anybody else's.
No, but it took... I'll show you. I don't have it here, but I didn't have a portfolio. I don't have like a printed picture of a tattoo
Nobody
anymore.
does anymore.
Well, no, but I had, in Lahaina, in my house, I had every picture of every tattoo I'd ever done.
Yeah.
I missed a few years from like the shit years that I'm talking about, but like I had all the American Graffiti stuff, all the New School stuff. I had all my graffiti stuff. I had every picture of everything. I had fucking hundreds of photo albums like disappear. So it was neat to be able to look from like the beginning to the end.
Sure.
Or the beginning to now. It's not the end. But I did have like some photos on my phone, and I went and developed it. I'll show you at Absolute tomorrow. And it's like only thing I had on my phone was like 2017 till now. And you could see a difference from 2017 till, that's almost 10 years now, you know? And I think like 2017, I was like really, I'm still in this process of like trying. And I'm still in the process of trying. And every time I do something, I'm trying to make it better and better and better every time I do it. But I think the last like 15 years of cruising around and not really having a job I don't really have a job, you know.
Yeah.
I just go wherever I want, wherever I feel like it, whoever have me, but mostly to see my friends and watch my friends' kids grow up, maybe get a good meal, maybe see a museum or see a city that I want to see. I like put myself around tattooing and I try to just soak it up. So I think my tattoos are a product of soaking up information from all the people that I look up to. You know, it's like Jason, Yoakum, you know, the Rock of Ages guys. Going to New Jersey a bunch and soaking up everything that Schweiger gave me. You know, I mean, if you want to talk about a tattoo that looks like a tattoo, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, and we tattoo so different. We tattoo so different, but
there's elements of what he does in your shit.
I definitely get more from him than he gets from me. I mean, what the fuck's he gonna, you know, I do stupid cartoony looking fucking crap, but
it's just great.
But, you know, being around him and going to Florida, being around Wilson, you know, and trading pictures with Wilson. You know, I'm soaking up a little bit of stuff from everybody. Being around Jill. Me and Jill tattoo 1,000 times different.
Yeah.
You know, everybody.
Yeah, but the people you're talking about just ooze greatness. You know what I mean? Like those three tattoos.
And then on top of that, I think, you know, we don't hang out that much, but in the last handful of years, we got to be really close again, and that's Chad Keplinger.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, we definitely tattoo way different.
Sure.
But what he taught me was it's like okay to be whatever you want.
Sure.
You know, you don't have to be in this mold. And tattooing doesn't have to be one way. Like, I don't sit in a shop and work 12 hours a day or 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, doing stuff that other people want. I tattoo for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I don't tattoo for a month, and I just draw or paint. And
then you put
know,
up the
and then
picture of like, I got all these drawings I'm bringing back to the mainland. That shit you posted there, like, that's fucking 150 drawings right there.
Yeah.
So people just, so like on this trip, are people just going through that and going, I'll take this?
Yeah, so I'm going to tattoo on this. I think it's like 3 weeks I'm gone, and I'm just going to tattoo from that pile. And work on.
Tattooed today, did he ask for that, or he
just picked it out of the thing.
And is that a catfish? Is that what you
catfish.
That thing was cool as fuck, man. And you were whipping that kid's ass, and he sat like a man. He did good.
Yeah, he did good.
I mean,
that's tough to get tattooed right there.
Are you fucking kidding
across
me?
your shoulder collarbone.
And you were like, that took forever. I mean, that kid sat stone cold, man. Props to that kid.
Yeah, he's tough.
I don't know his name, but he seemed like, you know, he's embarking on a bodysuit. Like he's realizing that he's
a Virginia guy, and I think his eyes opened up today at Absolute, and by like me and you and talking to him, and Timothy. Maybe he'll go. And Timothy was right there, and you know, just.
I think he'll come to the Shenandoah Road. Man, one of my favorite things about Absolute Art is that they let me fucking be me in there. Every time I come in that motherfucker, I talk so much, so different than they talk around and to their clients. And I was in there today talking that shit, and their clients were Richmond people, and they all were super comfortable with me being loud and rude and just talking kind of reckless. And they let me do that every time, and no one's ever offended, and they all fucking, because those guys are safe guys that laugh at me and laugh with me, and they let me do it every fucking time. And I'm proud to be, like, I'm Absolute Art. Like, you're hip hop, I'm hip hop too, but I'm Absolute Art too. And I love it there. And they let me be loose in there, and it's always fun. And that kid,
I didn't tattoo there until last year. Last year was my first time tattooing there, and I didn't really know any of the guys. I mean, me and Timothy know each other, and he's like, hey, just come. And I mean, honestly, I felt kind of weird going there now. Like, I should have went there 5 years ago when Brian was like, hey, come. And then when Ian was saying, hey, come.
Sure.
And I didn't come, you know? And so then I just felt kind of strange about just showing up. And then Timothy was like, yeah, fuck that, dude, come. So, all right, I'm coming. And then Keith hit me up right away and was like, I'll tattoo you. What time you want to get tattooed by me? Or, yeah, come I want to get tattooed from you. What time can you do it? It's like, whenever. He goes, I got the key. We'll do it early. It's like, all right, cool. And then he picked me up at the train station. Drove me around.
When the Grim Reaper hits you up and says, I want to get tattooed, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it's cool. And
that's what we'll start calling Keith, the Grim
Reaper. But, like, we got the same hobbies, like you were saying. And
yeah.
got along super good. And then I met Hobby, which was kind of weird because, like, I had never met him.
Yeah.
We're both into riding fucking road bikes. Both
watches.
like riding road bikes, fancy ass watches, and Porsches.
And he's also a legend. Like, you know,
for sure. Like, we've known about each other.
Hobby doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Absolutely
he's a
not.
legend.
But what's neat about that is that he can just sit back and he didn't have to be like the face of this shop.
Yeah, okay.
It's that he can just let the shop become like the legendary shop it was, and it didn't have to be Jason's absolute art.
No, he quietly facilitated greatness.
Yeah.
He quietly facilitated great things.
It's fucking cool.
And it is cool.
But me and him, from the first minute we met, we were like...
Well, you texted me and go, I got a new best friend.
Dude, I do.
His name's Jason Hobby.
I do. We talk, I mean, weekly. I think I've been checking up on him because of his back, and he isn't here this time. I was like, we got almost canceled my trip.
He's visiting his kid in Virginia Tech right now.
I almost canceled my trip because he wasn't here. I was like, why the fuck am I even coming then? But I get to hang out with the other guys. But we get along super good. I invited him, and I invited him to come to Japan.
I was talking to Chesko on Thursday, and he goes, you know, Rath said he's moving to Virginia.
Well, you know, me and Chad were sitting next to Hobby one day, and I said, hey, Jason, I'll make you a deal. If you hire Chad, you got to hire me too. Yeah. And he goes, deal.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, my goal is to start getting a bunch of bigger work going on this part of the world, you know. And last time I was here, I started a bunch of bigger stuff. And I was supposed to start a couple bigger ones this week, but some came up. But next time I'm here, hopefully I get to work on those. And I got a couple big ones I started in Virginia Beach at the shop down there. So
don't cut us out, right? I know, you know.
I haven't.
Don't cut us out.
That's
what happens.
No.
Chesko starts coming to Richmond more. Now Lehigh was coming. Wilson, Lehigh and Wilson were all coming to Alleycat.
No.
And now all these guys are coming to Absolute Art. You motherfuckers.
Don't start with me. Don't start with me. You're a little bit harder to get to, but Richmond is really fucking hard for me to get to, and the plane ticket here was thousands and thousands of dollars from my house. So,
like, it's way more to get to Richmond than it is to DC?
Yeah.
Like, it's smarter to do what you did and fly into DC and then take a train down.
And I got to hang out with my buddies in DC last night, which was super rad. Like, I really care about them guys. Tattoo guys.
Oh, you told me. Yeah, the DC. Yeah.
Ryan Clark and them guys. So that's
Ryan
cool.
Clark is Inksmith guy, right? Wasn't he Inksmith guy at one point? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Somebody else.
Okay.
Ryan started at Tattoo Paradise. But we're friends because jiu-jitsu or whatever, but like tattooing and jiu-jitsu, it's like super nerds.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk the same thing with John Sanford, right? That's how you know John.
Yeah.
Yeah, John's a good guy.
You're into one thing and two things together, you're just going to be buddies. You know, same thing, me and Hobby. So yeah, I'd like to come out here more. I fucking love it out here. You know, it's cool, but I don't do the winter. You know, I like all 4 seasons as long as they're summertime.
Hot? Yeah, as long as they're Hawaiian.
As long as they're hot. So I'll come here more probably in the summer and the fall than I will in the spring and the winter. But I love Alleycat. I love going out there.
I know you do, and I'm grateful that the times we've had have been fun. I'm really looking forward to Shenandoah Rose.
It'll be cool.
And Mario will be there. A lot of your friends will be there. Angela, Grandpa.
Dude, he's so old.
This motherfucker. So when I'll call him on my ride home tomorrow, and I'll be like, I've recorded with Brad yesterday, and he'll be like, what'd you say about me?
Yeah, right away. I go, hey, dude,
you're old, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I like busting his chops. Me and him we've known each other for a long time. The last couple of years, we got really tight. You know,
great.
Yeah,
it's the best guy.
It's been fun.
And I also love that. You know, I hope it's okay to say this. I feel like he's underappreciated in Jacksonville, but when he goes on the road, people get really cool tattoos from him, and they get tattooed by him to hear amazing stories. And I just love that he has that place in tattooing now.
Dude, check this out. So my friends, I was trying to get Ange to come to Australia with me. But
crazy.
I blew it because we're sitting in the living room one night with his wife, who I love her, and him, and we're just sitting watching TV, and I bring it up. I just got a text, and I was like, you wanna go to Australia? And she just fucking lost it. You ain't fucking going. You ain't fucking going without me. So I don't think he's gonna come, but the dudes in Australia love him because they came and did that road trip.
Oh,
you know, and they came to your shop.
They came to Ellicott, yeah.
And I got them guys. I got a bunch of them guys coming, and we're all gonna hang out in Texas in October.
So I asked them all to come to Shenandoah Rose, and they're like, "Oh, wait, I can't because I'm going to see Gordon."
No.
Yeah. Just recently.
Who'd you ask? Ollie and them.
Ollie.
Okay.
And the young boy, what's his name? I talked to at least 3 of them, and of course, you know, I wanted Willie to come.
Keita.
I wanted Willie to come to the Shenandoah Rose, and that didn't work out. But they came to Alley Cat, and you know, I hung out with Willie before, and he knew who I was, and so he didn't tell those boys.
Oh yeah.
What to expect,
dude? They have you and Angelo fucked all of them up because they think when you come to America and you go somewhere that they just barbecue for you. It's like they're like, it's great when you're in America and you show up at some guy's house. They just cook for you for 3 days and let you sleep on their floor. This is great. We just.
The only reason Angelo did that shit is because I had to feed these boys because I know you ain't gonna cook for these motherfuckers. And then Angelo brought somebody in. Angelo didn't cook a motherfucking thing for them kids. I fed them good anyway. So tell me about.
They take care of me when I go out there. You know, like. Them guys are like, guys. Yeah, and me and Will.
And they love tattoos too.
When my brother passed away, I wanted to go to Australia and get a tattoo, like an Australian style looking tattoo. So I had just met, on the computer, I met Will and Caleb. And Will was already doing kind of New York style Japanese stuff because he was going back and forth to New York, but Caleb was doing these Aussie looking tattoos. So I wanted to get an Australian looking tattoo for my brother because he lived in Australia when he died. For 20 years he lived in Australia. So I flew over there to get tattooed and met those guys in person, and we've been like brothers ever since.
They're great.
They're fucking tight. I was in New York when Will moved to New York. You know, I go back there and visit him once or twice a year.
Best
I got to hang out with this boy the other day.
And his story is also incredible. He moves around. I call him Hong Kong Willie. He spent some time, in fucking limbo in Hong Kong, and he's a great guy. So let me tell you. So he came to Alley Cat a few times.
I remember when
he came one time to work, and I think he came 3 times altogether. But he came one time to work, and my wife said, "I really like his stuff. I want to get a cat from him." And I was like, "Okay." And so he was doing this leopard, kind of like a C shape, like a curved around, and it's basically a Mike Wilson cat. That's what it was. Yeah. That's if we're being honest. And so my wife is coming to get tattooed, which means I gotta go get the kids off the bus. And I get a phone call to Mike Wilson. He's like, "Hey, I'm traveling down 81. I gotta stop and get gas. Are you gonna be at the shop? I'll come say hi." And I said, "No, I'm not gonna be at the shop, but Hong Kong Willie's here tattooing my wife. You should come and say hi to him." And Willie has his back, hands, and feet from Wilson. And so I get a call 3 hours later, and it's Will going, hey mate, I'm fucking tattooing a Wilson County wife, and fucking Wilson walks in. I don't know what to do. And so Mike Wilson walks in and goes, "Where'd you get that line drawing?" It was amazing.
Dude, check this out. One day, so I suffer from imposter syndrome, like for real. Like I don't think I belong anywhere I am. When somebody says like something about the image I came up with, I like kind of flip out. Like I still think of myself as like a 5-year tattooer. I don't think of myself as a vet. But one day I'm in Texas and I'm having dinner and Wilson sends me like 10 photos, more than that. Just like blast my phone with all these photos of tattoos that he did from my designs.
Oh,
dude. Like, what do you do? Food falls out of my mouth. I'm shaking like one after another, I'm just looking at them.
Well, the
like,
stuff that you just sent me that Willie did of your stuff.
Bro.
So cool. And that hot stuff with that little hint of purple, man.
Yeah.
That shit's good. I sent it to Mike.
That's on the painting, though.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, he's good, right? But Wilson's, I'm looking at all these things, and then I'm eating with Steve that used to work at Inksmith. Then he was working at Great Wave at the time. I show him, I'm like, look at this shit. Look how crazy this is. Look how crazy this is. And Steve just goes like, whatever. And I was like, fuck off, dude. This is like a big deal. I've been tattooing 30 years, and I got excited that Wilson was like willing to tattoo this crappy shit that I drew, So, Wilson, and it was like, he did a back piece. He did fucking this other thing. He did this other thing. And every once in a while, send me a picture of like one of my designs that he tattooed. And he's like, hey, thanks, bud. Saved my day. Like, Jesus Christ.
But he's very much that way. If he thinks it's a worthy thing, he'll just do it.
Just make stencil.
Like, he's come to Alley Cat and look and seen the line drawing that Timothy left behind and be like, oh, that's exactly what I need today.
I'll just use that.
He'll do it.
Yeah.
And, it's still a Mike Wilson tattoo, but, it's like, Mike Rennie he's not the only person that said it to me, but he's the first person that said it to me a long, long time ago. He's like, I can't draw a better clipper ship than Jerry.
Sure.
So every time someone asks me for a ship,
just do that.
I'm going to do the Jerry one. It'll be my version of the Jerry one, but I can't outdo that one. Yeah. That one's the one. And so I think there's a real honor in that, to be honest with you.
100%.
I think there's a real honor in Mike Wilson going, oh, well, Wrath did a great version of this. Fuck, who am I to fucking interfere?
Well, or this flip that around. If anybody bitches ever about somebody taking their design, that most likely they took from somebody else anyway.
And sold.
Yeah, no shit. Think about how many people tattoo panther heads that look like Mike Wilson's panther head.
Bro, I'm not. Well, I'll keep that to myself. But Mike's got a lot of sons. He's got a lot of sons.
But people don't want to give him the credit. Like, just give him the fucking credit.
I do.
And then you can do the same thing. Like, the Texas guys. The Texas guys got their own style, but everybody else just rips off Wilson ones. And they're ripping off the trick that he did for sure. But like
there's like a Scott, like, so when you think about roses, right? There's Scott Sylvia roses and there's Mike Malone roses.
Yeah.
And everything else is either a head of cabbage or not as good as those two versions, right? Am I wrong? Like the Malone roses are like the best roses. Like if you look at
the Malone roses are like the Jerry roses with like an extra flip. It's cool. Like
crispier,
there's like I'm gonna fuck it up if I try to say it, but Malone said something like, I just drew it this way over and over and over and over, and then one day it changed a little bit, and then I just drew it that way over and over and over and over and over, and then one day it changed again.
Right.
And I drew it over and over and over.
And I think you see that in Scott Sylvia's roses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they're considered like the top of the line, they've changed a little bit.
For sure.
For the better or for the whatever.
I don't know if he's done with this project, so I don't want to say what he's doing, but Scott got another project in the works, Sylvia, and he might be done and it might be out, so it might be old news, but everybody's gonna flip out on the shit that he's doing now. So
Right.
I'll tell you later.
He's a legend.
Well, it's neat when people do something that's like worthy of being done. You know, printing a book now is so easy, or, you know, making a painting is so easy, but like not everything needs to be done. There's like a bunch of garbage in it.
I mean, making a painting is so easy unless it's an exceptional one.
For sure. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that like certain things don't need to be sold, certain things don't need to be mass produced. But there's some good ones. I mean, this thing that Scott.
Are you and Timothy doing something collaborative? You sent me a thing.
Yeah.
Was that you just talking shit, or was that a thing?
No. I mean, we're making some paintings together right now, just doing some warm ups. but we just kind of mapped out like a cool project together.
That's great, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I mean, who
you guys are
who the
equally
fuck
prolific.
am I? Like talk about like
You guys both do volume.
Yeah.
You guys both do a lot.
I mean, it's just what we do, right? It's like part of your day.
Yep.
Like you warm up in the morning by like a little exercise of drawing, or
yeah.
I mean, this is what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, you should do. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to make some paintings, make this project with Timothy. I don't know if he's as excited about it as I am, but he brought it up. It wasn't me. The last time I was here, or the first time I came out here, he just sat there. He just sat there and like he's so quiet. And he just sat there, and I'm just running my fucking mouth for hours.
I've been in that position.
And then at the end of the day, he said, "I hope you keep coming back."
Yeah,
I was like, "All right, cool."
He loves it. I'm just glad we're still going. No, he's excited to work. Timothy works, man. He's just like you. He doesn't. If he's not tattooing, he's building something else
for sure.
He's like he's excited to work, and I guarantee he's excited about it.
But it blows me away that I'm doing tattoos next to tattoos that he's doing,
and they could be more different.
They're totally different, you know. They're totally different, but we're almost at this point. The collectors the tattoo collectors in the world kind of have a say on who they get tattooed by, and they're like a little bit smarter, a little bit more educated. And I mean, the internet definitely was good for that, to like educate these collector dudes. And now I feel like, I mean, there's a bunch of guys that I don't know, like a bunch of tattooers that I don't know, but we've been tattooing the same people for long enough that we're starting to know each other without
just by seeing that thing. Yeah.
I mean, like several people I've done like their arm when like they have their other arm from somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, I did a matching arm to a Kiku arm.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. That kid you tattooed today, I don't even keep harping on this, but he'll probably end up getting a tattoo from Timothy.
Yeah, for sure.
It was easy and accessible, even though, like I said, you whipped his ass, bro. That was a tough spot.
No, it was solid.
It's the second time I talk about it, but for folks listening, Gordon did a tattoo on this guy that was like kind of the back of his arm over his shoulder onto his chest a little bit, right?
Yeah, like capped off his arm. But like around his.
He wasn't full.
He had his sleeve was done, but like low on his shoulder, so he was able to do like his.
That's a
chest
tough spot.
Chest to back.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like upper shoulder of his back.
Around his collarbone.
Over it. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like how like a Japanese sleeve would end on a chest.
It was
but
just
with like a
draped
piece
over
together.
That. And it's a tough fucking spot to get tattooed. And you whipped his ass. But he was standing there and you and Timothy are fucking playing ping pong, just having a conversation. And then I come in there and I'm just talking shit. And he's seeing all that ill shit in Absolute Art. And you invite him to a Shenandoah Rose. And you know, I think that kid will probably get tattooed by Timothy. If he's smart. And hopefully he'll get tattooed at Shenandoah Rose. But, yeah. You know, there's a lot of collectors that other kid that was taking pictures of you. You know? He's I've seen him 3 times in the past year.
Yeah, he's a Virginia getting tattooed by all of Virginia guys.
Yeah, that's the shit. He got tattooed by Mike Wilson at Alley Cat. I saw him in Norfolk. He was getting tattooed by somebody, and he was there today. Did you tattoo him, or was he just
I
kicking?
tattooed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nice guy. Young and head on right. I mean, it's neat that you can be that young and that educated on who to get tattooed by.
Sure. But he's probably got other stuff that's just regular shit. Everybody does. You got to start somewhere.
Dude, he has a couple, but he learned fast.
Yeah. I forgot who he got tattooed by in Norfolk, but it was a goodie.
Got tattooed by...
He got tattooed by Wilson, that alley cat. And he said he's coming to Shenandoah Rose. I forgot who he said he has an appointment with, but he's got an appointment at Shenandoah Rose.
Maybe Zach? Was he? No, he's going to get his back done from Zach and Norfolk Convention or something.
Zach? Who? Zach Blevin?
Yeah.
Yo, that kid tattoos his fucking balls off. He did some crazy Viking, not Viking, but some crazy medieval skull with a helmet on my brother. It's like exactly what my brother wants.
Dude, yeah, so many good tattooers now. It's neat. Party.
There's a lot of partying in this hotel. You had enough? You want to wrap it up?
Whatever. Is there anything else you wanted to know? I think that's it.
That's good, yeah. Thank you so much for indulging me. You've been on a couple times, and we've just talked, and it hasn't always been the perfect setting. Even when you did the one at the new Alley Cat, there was,
it was like
folks
pretty loud
talking,
and tons of people.
Neighbors, and it just wasn't. So thank you for taking the time to do this. This is the conversation I always wanted to have, and this is a conversation that I knew would, and not to over flatter you, but you say you feel like a young tattooer still. That's exciting to people that love tattoos. But also, you were able to pepper this story with legendary names that you had interactions with or just brushes with or relationships with, and I knew that if we actually looked at your timeline that would happen, and that's why I wanted to do that. When we were leaving the restaurant, I lightened it up by saying, we're going to end up talking about Hawaiian history so that you wouldn't think it was too much about you, but you were, when you mentioned I'm around Smo and I'm around Scott Sterling and I'm around Gil and I'm around all these legendary, I knew all that stuff was there, and I just needed to figure out a way to get it out of you, and I appreciate you doing it.
I mean, we didn't talk. I feel like we didn't talk about what's going on in Hawaii now.
We didn't,
but that's okay. There's not really that much going on there now.
Which is why you don't tattoo when you're home, right?
I do tattoo there. I wish more people would get tattooed by me there. And I'm accessible to get tattooed in Hawaii for visitors, or I do tattoo a couple times a week. I end up tattooing while I'm there.
Okay.
So you can always get with me there. And there are good people, like if I'm not able to tattoo you there, and you want to reach out and get a good tattoo in Hawaii, there are good guys tattooing there. But it's such a transient place that I think the big scale tattooing never caught on, because military guys are usually there for a year.
They come and go, yeah.
The people that live there don't have any money, and the tourists are only there for a week.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure that could be a whole other fucking thing, but just think about the native Hawaiians don't have any fucking money, and yet the tourists pump $1 billion into it every year.
Dude. Yeah. It's fuck. The whole story.
And we also, if I may say so, we also didn't talk about how resilient you and your family are. And you guys went through something major, and a lot of families did. It's not just you, and I know that's part of the reason that you don't say anything, but neighborhoods that existed forever are gone. And your house is one of those things. And when people bring up the fire to me, I always bring up your wife's ring.
Oh,
just being a little gold puddle, just a little white gold, just a, it looks like somebody just took looks like mercury or something,
Yeah.
But you went through something tremendous, and your family still is well, and you are optimistic, and you have a great attitude, and you travel this world, and we talked about in the car earlier, you cut out people that are no good for you, and you lean into relationships that feel good and are positive.
Yeah.
And that's an incredible thing. And some people can get bitter. Like you went through something tremendous. For folks listening, Gordon and his family, they lost their home and burnt to nothing, to absolutely nothing. And so did his neighbors and his friends and people that he barbecued with and people that he talked to all the fucking time. I'm talking about like just skeletons of vehicles, and how the only thing existing in these houses are like cement, frames and nothing. And you are positive and you're good to your friends. And what are you doing?
No, I was gonna show you this. So my auntie just sent me this picture. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
But yeah, you're good to your friends and you're a positive guy, and you continue to just be good everywhere you go, and you're good in fellowship. And you and I do this, and we've done this, but we've also had just tons and tons.
That's my auntie's house. She sent me that picture today, across the street from my.
Is she rebuilding for her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's great.
Almost 90 years old. But she's like 8 in her.
It's funny you say that, because when I was trying to express what I was saying, I remember one of the first things you mentioned to me was your auntie.
Yeah.
And I would, but I didn't want to say it wrong. But anyway, I just appreciate your friendship and the fact that you work hard at being a good friend, and you can stay positive. I appreciate it.
I think that's like my goal. My goal is to stay friends. It's to keep my friends, travel around, see my friends. I know everybody can't come to see me, so I go to see them. Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's a great, crazy life. And try to explain it to people. I just stopped trying to explain it to people. You try to explain what I do to people that don't understand it. It's almost impossible.
Well, you also have a niche. It's a fancy French word for something that's, but not everybody. And you talk about how Chad, earlier at dinner, you were saying Chad set the stage for people to be able to tattoo anywhere in the world.
If it wasn't for Chad, I mean, somebody else would have did it, of course, eventually. But what Chad did for people in the tattoo world is he made it possible for people to go anywhere. You could go anywhere in the world and tattoo, and people will get tattooed by you. And he was there early on with the internet.
Yeah.
And whether that's good or bad.
It works for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it if he didn't do it first.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly believe graffiti ruined tattooing for everybody.
Well, it brought you in.
Prove me wrong.
It brought you in. It never should.
I think it's the worst thing, man. Man, there's a lot of fucking shitty tattooers because of graffiti.
Yeah, well. I started to expand on that earlier. When you were talking about graffiti tattoos, I'm like, they don't, the shit that works on a train doesn't really work on an arm.
No, but eventually, what I did is, because I'm painting a lot more and I'm sculpting and I'm in a print studio and working on printmaking now, and I'm going to Mexico a bunch and working in a print studio there. And I think bringing all these different things together to make one thing. When you were talking about what makes my stuff different than other people, is I'm able to bring all this different stuff that I do. I loved lowriders forever, and graffiti, and hip hop, and printmaking, and painting, and sculpting, and for a long time I thought you had to do tattooing one way, and I got rid of all that, and I think you can do it whatever way you want now. I mean, I still follow the rules of outline it, shade it black, color it, bandage it, next. but if it took me a long time to not be ashamed of being the guy that painted trains, and be able to remember those color schemes and add those to, and bring some of that back in, or work in different mediums, and work in the print shop and see different ways of doing things, and then bring that in. And then I don't know if you've seen, I was painting all those masks and shit, and doing that for so many years, it changed my tattooing completely.
Well,
so people that just do one thing, I feel like kind of get stuck. If you can get out of that, or travel, or hike, or the more different things you do, makes what you really do interesting.
Talking about the train thing, like I was talking to my buddy Jake, Jake that works at the shop, and he's like, I got an appointment with Mario, and I'm like, what are you gonna get? And he's like, I'm getting a second layer. His right arm was like one beautiful tattoo, and he's just starting to put
more stuff on it.
I forgot
He's one of the most tattooed human beings I ever met.
Yes,
he's like, tattoo my armpit. I tattooed his armpit, remember?
Yeah.
But all of his armpit was already tattooed. I just tattooed the little strip of hair.
But he's got this beautiful tattoo from a guy from California, and it's very nice. And the first toe in the water of the second layer was a pirate head that Angelo did on him.
Okay.
And then he got something else, and I was like, "What do you get from Mario?" And he's like, "Something like super black and super bright." And that's what fucking Mario does. And I'm assuming it comes out of that. You know what I mean? Out of that train shit.
Look at this. I know your podcast, you can't see the videos, but you want to get stoked about Mario coming? I'm
endlessly stoked about Mario coming.
So, what me and Mario tattoo and draw completely different. But what I think we do the same is whatever we do, it looks like we did it.
100%.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's hard to do something and have it be recognizable that you did it.
It's the biggest accomplishment a tattooer can get, really.
Dude, my friend said Wilson walked up to her and said, "Who did that rat tattoo on your leg?" And she said, "Rat did."
Hell yeah!
But look at this Mario sent me. He said this is what he's bringing to the convention.
Yeah, he didn't send me this much, but he sent me 5 images. He was like, "This is the start of what I'm bringing to the Rose." That's dope, man.
Whoever's getting tattooed by him's going to be stoked. Whatever he does, anything he does looks like he did it, and that's.
And you know what? He's had that longer than most people.
Yes.
He's had that since fucking '98 or some shit. Straight up. I tell this all the time.
But they've gotten better.
They have,
of course.
Everything is better. Andrew Connor broke out a magazine in 1998 and said, "Look at this," and it was like a sparrow that was kind of like a, like a stained glass kind of thing. He's like, man, it's fucking. He's taking this traditional, he's turning it on its head, and it's way better now. Those that fucking Reaper, but it's looked like Mario did it for a very long time, and that's why he's a hero to people who love traditional shit.
I really love going to Chicago and working with all them guys. It's a blast.
They're the truth.
It's a blast. Everybody in the shop is the only shop I go into that not just me, but anybody walks through the door, everybody stops and greets you. Everybody in the morning gets coffee together. Everybody says hi. There's not one cool guy in the shop, and I think if one guy acted out and
was too good,
he'd just get banished or something. They're all just genuine people. It's great.
So, on closing this, I'm going to say this publicly so that I might actually do it. What are you doing in October in Texas? What are the dates and what are the cities? You asked me to come, and if the
I don't have the dates yet, but I got the Aussie guys coming. I'm probably going to start my trip off in Mexico City. Which not them guys ain't coming with me, but I'm gonna go visit my god kids in Mexico City, some friends. I'm gonna do the thing in Dallas that Phil puts on. It's called Tattoo Mania. It's like a small convention in Dallas.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna do Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas, maybe Houston. But I only got a week. 10 days, so it'll just be
all that, but
it'll just be a drive. The convention's 3 days. It'll probably be 4 days of 2 other cities. I'm not sure the dates or anything.
I haven't had that kind of trip in a few years, and I'm really trying to figure it out and think about doing it. It'll be
for you. It'd be challenging, but for me, it's more challenging. So if we want to have a
but you travel a lot. I don't do shit.
But you just fly to Dallas.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Fly,
we'll rent a car,
get a car, go a couple places, and then fly out.
Fly out. That's all I'm gonna do.
All right, I'll figure it out. Thanks so much.
I mean, I think that you can get a lot of good stuff from out there, and from probably some guys that no one really knows about. I mean, everybody knows a lot about a lot of them guys, but there's a ton of guys killing it that no one knows about too. So, anyways,
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and you've been a good friend to me and to Alley Cat.
Likewise.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this. 400.
400. Dude, congratulations. 400 podcasts. You're out of your mind.
400.
It's a lot of talking.
No lies, just bullshit.